See? Don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I gotta go out of the whole thing and come back in, and it's weird, and it keeps going, and I don't know what to do. But I will have to chop off about 20 minutes of this, and I'm not gonna repeat everything. So we're just gonna go straight into Reddit read because I'm too tired. Woke up at 5 freaking 30 this morning for no reason. It's really annoying. Slept really good yesterday. Not no, that was Saturday. Saturday I slept really good. Not so much yesterday. No, Sunday. Sunday. Mother's Day. I slept in. Mother's Day I slept in. Yesterday, no, I woke up um at like 6:30, 5:30 today, 6:30 yesterday. Couldn't get back to sleep, so I went out. I laid in bed for a while, drawing and then reading. And then I finally got up and went and made coffee, and my husband's in the living room sleeping. She does occasionally when he has different issues that he sleeps in the living room for, that he needs his head elevated a little bit. So I go in there and it's like 8:15ish, I think. So I make my coffee trying to wake him up because he's got to go to work. Um, I finally sit down, I turned the TV on. It's like 8:45 by the time that happened. And he looks at me and he looks at the clock and he goes, "Oh, oh, oh." He should have been up 2 hours ago, or at least an hour and 45 minutes before then. And he had a meeting at 10 and now it's 8:45 and he's not even up and the kids are there and they're wanting grandpa because they love grandpa. Grandpa's their favorite. Grandpa and Uncle Gabe, yesterday they were really excited. They came over for a little while and Uncle Gabe and Grandpa were there to play with. So that was fun. But yeah, they like their uncle, they like their grandpa. So it was fun. It was fun. Is this working now? It's working now. It's working now. So I couldn't be happier. I could be, but it's annoying when I forget to do stuff like turn the right mic on. I don't like that I have to do it every time. Like, yeah, it's not there. I don't know why it's not in the edit thing with everything else. Why is it not there? It's super annoying. Super annoying. Anyway, all right, we're gonna get into this. This month we're starting with entitled people because they're entitled to be first. At least they think they are. This one is entitled "My Mom Thinks She Deserves to Move In After Her Boyfriend Broke Up with Her." Oh my, no, just no, mom. Just no, mom. All right, I have to get ready. Sorry if this is all over the place. That's how my head is at the moment. My 20 female mom, 21 female, is wanting to move back in with me and my siblings. I'll try to keep it short, but basically, she and my stepdad got divorced in November of 2020 because he caught her texting another guy. Wow. Wow, mom. Way to show your kids proper behavior. Jeez, people. It was messy, of course it was. He ended up leaving that same night and we didn't hear from him for months, which I don't blame him for since he was going through a lot and needed to process some things. He's still very much supportive and takes care of us kids. Oh, what a good stepdad. That's a good stepdad. Green flags for the stepdad. Where are my flags? Green flags for stepdad. Giant red flag for mom. The heck, mom. I say stepdad just for the story, but I do take him as my true dad. My bio dad wasn't in the picture much at all, and my stepdad took me in as his own when I was a baby. So he is my dad, and that is correct. That is how it should be. This is relevant because I feel some people might think I don't have a close relationship with him, but I do. He's the best and I love him and he treats me like his own. Like I said, green flags for the stepdad. That's how a stepdad should act, especially if the other parent isn't in the situation at all. After she left and moved in with said guy and has left us four siblings at home without any parental supervision, it has been like that since. Well, I know somebody like that. Somebody like that. She was really horrible to us kids since she moved in with the guy and treated us like we were a burden, and sometimes acting like we didn't exist while she played mommy to his younger kids. Me and my older sibling had to step up and take care of all of us, me up until I was legal age, but I helped. That's horrible. I'm sorry that happened to you. That happened to people I know too, and it sucks. And then they want, the child support and everything too. It stinks. Personally, I wouldn't abandon my kids for an abusive guy, but maybe that's just me. Sarcasm. When she left, she said, "There's more than enough of you to rely on, and you'll get it when you're older and have children of your own." No, no, you won't. I don't get it, and I'm older and have children of my own, and I would never have done that to them. That's horrible. She would come back sometimes, it was only for a day or two to come get clothes if they got into a fight, and then leave back to him who lives 3 or 4 hours away. Holy cow. Um, oh, I cannot hate this mom enough. What a horrible person. What a horrible person. After she got mad, and that's where the argument started. Oh, sorry. We got into a huge argument a few months ago when she said that she and the guy broke up and he kicked her out for the billionth time and tried to guilt us kids saying kids need their moms and all that. No, kids don't need their moms when they're acting like this. Kids do not need moms that act like this at all. I told her something along the lines of, "When did you care about this 5 years ago when you left us claiming we'd understand when we were older? We're older now. We still don't understand how a woman can do that to her kids." After that, she got mad, and that's where the argument started. She said some not nice things about me and my siblings that I won't repeat here, but just know it was things my mother never should say to her kids. Yeah, that's how they are. That's how they, that's how these type of parents are. It ended with her going and staying with our grandparents and texting my older sibling and I guilt trips and playing victim that my grandparents told us to block her. So even the grandparents are onto this mom. But spoiler alert, she went right back to him a few days later. Of course she did. Of course she did. God. No self-respect, self-esteem, or respect for anyone else. Oh, what a loser. Loser mom. After this, my older sibling took her to court for custody of our younger siblings in the house and told her if she doesn't hand over the kids or the house in their name peacefully, they'd out her in court and tell them that she's been doing. Blackmail isn't right, I know. No, it is. It is. But it worked. My mom gave the house and the kids to my older sibling and claimed to be an unfit parent, and that was it. Now she and the guy broke up and apparently got done for good as he's thrown out all of her things. She got a new number and called my older sibling, asking if she could have her room back in the house, and she would never leave us again. No. You've come back and left and come back and left and come back and left for the last 5 years? No, absolutely not. We've already turned her room into the youngest, and she likes her space. Obviously, we told her no. This is when she started playing the victim card and trying to turn it around on us, saying that we are mean, and she has done everything for our kid. You've done nothing for the last 5 years, dude. Come on. And that our dad turned us against her. I don't think the dad did anything. We told her dad doesn't even talk about her anymore unless we bring her up. And then she started getting mad, saying we are ungrateful brats again, and that we should be thanking her for even giving us the house and not throwing us out like she wanted. Then she proceeded to demand that we let her move in, and she wasn't taking no for an answer, and that she raised us and that she's still the mom and has final say. No, you're not. The court said you're not, so you're not. We threatened her and told her if she even tries anything, we'll get the police involved, but so far that hasn't stopped her. She's going to try and move in sometime tomorrow because she said it was all she said was, "We'll talk in person about this. See you soon. Love you." Obviously, it doesn't. It's really loud, isn't it? Honestly, I don't even know what to do if she does. I really hope she doesn't go through with it, so we don't have to get the police involved. But so far, that looks like where it's going. Today we changed the locks thanks to some advice. That's good. Edit. Good morning. I honestly didn't think this would get much attention. I just posted and went to sleep. I just brought the kids to school and am at work until noon. My older sibling is home waiting to see if she shows up this morning. We decided to take shifts, them for the morning, me for the afternoon. That good plan. Good kids. So the house isn't left alone. That's very smart. We contact our uncle and aunt on my dad's side for support in case. Good idea too. Thank you so much for the nice words and supportive advice. I'll make sure to read everything once I can. Have a good day. Good luck because this has 177 comments. Top comment is from Agabel, Abigail. Oh, I'm not here today. I'm not here today. I needed more sleep, I think. Abigail True Blue says, "Thank heavens you see through their pathetic manipulation. You even changed the locks. Damn. You stay just as strong as you are now for the rest of your life. Hug from a stranger." Yes. Hey, have a great day. Answers. Mom tells kids they can fend for themselves. Is upset to learn they actually can. Some people. No kidding. Worldly Marzipan is the second top rated comment, and they say, if she comes, don't let her in and call the police immediately. Let them handle her. Yes, this. Storm Tomcat answers, I'd even say call the police now on the non emergency number. Inform them of the problem and the reality. Inquire where you can send your documentation and case numbers and any relevant contacts, social workers, school counselors, etc., so they can check out your situation. Request how you can best contact them if your mother does show up and or if your mother calls the police herself. You can request a specific officer. Can you request a specific officer? Is there a case number you can give any random officer at the scene? Then teach all siblings, young and old, the gray rock technique. Avoid emotional outbursts. Try only to repeat standard phrases like our legal guardian, oldest sibling, has explained everything to Officer XYZ yesterday. Can you get them here? Or Mom, everything has been discussed 2 years ago when the oldest sibling became our legal guardian. We'll visit you at your place when you have one, but they've made it clear you can't live here. Yes. And being special is the third top rated comment. And they say, if you have a garage, you may have a remote or know the code. You may want to change the code or find a way to lock it. If it's like, or just unplug the opener. It's hard to break into a garage when the power's off. Get cameras are cheap. It can catch her trying to break in and help with a court order. You should look into getting a restraining order and your older sibling one along with the other siblings. She doesn't own the house. She has no parental rights. She tries to break in and then charges can be brought as well. It is awesome her pleas that she is the mother are not working. All of you know the first guy she falls for she'll take off. She's just looking for a place to crash and food to eat. She wants to play the mommy card now because it's convenient. Exactly. She had years to show she wanted to be involved and she didn't want to. And she doesn't now. Again, she just says these things because she needs a convenient place to stay until something better comes along. Yep, and that's how they are. Oh, people are so annoying. That should be entitled parents and not entitled people. Next is Murdered by Words. It looks like it's Miley. It's like Miley got Joe Rogan. So that's nice. Joe Rogan, did they all come? They all do the same move. They drop down and do the splits. Miley Cyrus says, that's what I think when I'm watching your shows too, all the same stuff. Oh, that's good. Good, Miley. Probably is very repetitive. I don't watch Joe Rogan. Never have. Sweetheart Babe says, it's funny because it's true. Every Joe Rogan Experience episode is just different guests with the same 5 talking points. Strange Specialist says, Joe doing comedy is even worse. He reused jokes in the last episode of his I watched. Of course it is. Next is our national park or our bad reviews. Bad reviews. This is from Yokate about Arches. We're still in Arches National Park. This is a 1-star review from October of 16, so before COVID. And it says, hiker beware. Delicate arch hike. I give this hike 1 star only to warn people of the possible danger involved. Well, that's dumb. I hiked this with my family of 5, ages 38 to 66. Though the hike to Delicate Arch is short, it's very much uphill and strenuous. So go slower. Go slower. Once you make it up the strenuous hill, there's a ledge that is exposed but wide. When you reach the arch area, there's a rock wall that I would recommend you sit on to view the arch. Many people, including our group, went over the wall and sat on a bowl wall to view the sunset. One person in our group mentioned how nervous the bowl made him, so we all stayed sitting as opposed to wandering closer to the arch or moving about in general. Unfortunately, before the sunset, we witnessed a woman who was moving about and either tripped or lost her footing as she fell face first down into the bowl, hitting the rock several times on her way down. She suffered severe injuries, including broken limbs and head injuries. Yeah, they warn you that, nature is dangerous. If you don't know this, you're kind of dumb. We haven't been able to find any follow-up info on her well-being, but we know she was life flighted out of the area and it's very likely that she will not survive. Yeah, there's probably all kinds of signs telling you not to do crap. My intention of sharing this tragedy is not to scare people not to visit this amazing arch and park, but to spread awareness, encourage safety for all ages and abilities, and to stress calculated footsteps. A higher review might get more attention. Just saying. And that's a dumb reason to have a review because somebody else got hurt. It's so dumb to put it as a 1 star. It's just I can't. I can't with these people. Next we have Traumatize Them Back, and it is entitled Wanna Smell My Fingers? Okay. I have this aunt named Jean who is, well, a bit of a jerk. One of those people who always wants to stir up drama, get people in trouble, cause fights, etc. I can't stand people like that. Like, why? Why can't you just behave? Behave yourself. When I was a teenager, she'd go out of her way to try and get me in trouble with my parents because she said they were too lenient. Oh gosh, one of those. At the time of the story, I'm 14 years old and had been a regular smoker for 4 years. Started early but quit in my late 20s, now 30 plus years tobacco free. Well, thank goodness. They started smoking when they were 10. I thought my dad was bad when he started smoking at 12. Oh, that was bad, but this kid started smoking at 10. Like, why? My parents knew I smoked, but had a don't ask, don't tell mentality about it. They'd punish me if they caught me smoking at home, even though they both smoked, or outside, but otherwise pretty much ignored it. This laissez-faire attitude drove dear old Auntie Jean nuts. So when she regularly tried to out me for smoking to get me in trouble, this included demanding to smell my fingers when I came home or had been outside and out of sight for a while. If she smelled tobacco, she'd rat on me to my mom, who'd usually ground me for a day or two. Oh, so your parents are in on this scheme. One day, dear old Auntie, so take some peppermint with you, some peppermint oil, and put that on your fingers before you come in, and she'll just get peppermint smell. That stuff does not go away. Not anytime soon, anyway. One day, dear old Auntie Jean was visiting my mom, and they were sitting at the table having a lovely chin wag. I came home and went to say hi, and immediately, dear old Auntie Jean demands to smell my fingers, and I said, "Oh, wait a minute, I have something first." I ran upstairs before my mom finally got annoyed enough with dear old Auntie Jean's whining to force me to let her sniff my digits. Dear old Auntie Jean yelled at me, "I better not hear the water running, or I know you washed the smoke stink off." Once upstairs, I went into the bathroom and proceeded to drop a nice stinky poo. Finished up as I normally would, but I didn't wash my hands as per old Auntie Jean's orders. I came back down to the kitchen and presented my hand for dear old Auntie Jean to sniff. She gave my fingers a good long inhale. Ew, it smells like smells like crap, said dear old Auntie Jean. I nodded thoughtfully and said, okay, before turning to pour myself a cup of coffee. I had my back to them. There was a period about 10 to 15 seconds of expectant silence. They waited me to tell them what the smell was. Finally, my mom said, well, what was the smell? Oh, it was crap. Dear old Auntie Jean immediately gagging and rushing to the sink. For some reason, the actual smell of poop didn't make her stink, but learning it was poop did. Not sure if legitimately psychosomatic or just more drama, but she spent several minutes retching into the sink. See, I would have picked up the poo smell right away. I cannot stand that smell. It is the worst. I would rather smell a skunk. Um, my mom was simultaneously amused but slightly annoyed and asked me why I did that. She told me not to wash my hands, just following orders. You want to sniff my fingers, dear old Auntie Jean? Enjoy a nose full of poo smell. Seriously, just take some peppermint oil with you everywhere you go. Rosa knows that smoking was way more common back then. Even as a teenager, we literally had smoking corners at high schools. My school did indeed have smokers' corner. And any junket answers, we did a designated place for kids to go smoke. Looking back, that was kind of wanged. Maroon Grad said it prevented trash can fires and burned holes in seats and toilet seats. Smoking in the boys' room was a song for a reason. At that point, you gave them a place to smoke in a safe trash can. And I bet a lot of places made those spots unappealing, cold, bare, ugly, and dark. Yes, they were. I never went there. 'Cause I don't smoke. Gifted Garden Snail has the tea. You poured yourself a cup of coffee with unwashed poop hands. Uh, Boulder Roy says this is what I took from the story as well. I was going to mention that. uh, T.S. O'Connor said, "Did you wipe your butt with your hand and no paper? Was the paper that thin one ply? Oh gosh, I hate the one ply. Hate the one ply. Did you stick your hand in your crack afterwards? How did your fingers smell so strongly of butt?" Uh, the Glorical says, "Golly, you suppose it could have been done on purpose?" Yeah, she probably left out the part that she did on purpose somehow. Made sure it was on purpose. But yeah, you can wash your hands after that. Gross. And after you handle meat. Meat and poo. Wash your hands. Wash your wanging hands. Next way, What Should I Do is entitled, My Fiance, 33 female, cheated on me during her hen do. Oh, geez. Hi, I'm 31 male. My fiance, 33 female, and I were going together for 4 years, engaged for two, and planning our wedding over the year. I thought everything was great. We were always laughing, supporting each other. I genuinely believed she was happy. But during her hen do bachelorette party 8 days ago, she cheated on me. My sister was there and witnessed it, and she told me about it 6 days ago. My fiance came clean afterwards, but the fact that it happened at all, that she hid it for 2 days, has really messed me up. I asked my sister why she never told me right away, and she said because I wouldn't have believed her, and she's not wrong. Why would she lie? Why would your sister lie about that? That's just weird. I ended the engagement immediately. Her friends are calling me harsh and selfish, but I can't get over this. She tried to use the drunk excuse. No, it's not an excuse. It's not even a reason. But I wasn't having it. My ex-girlfriend from years ago used it, and I fell for it back then. I feel like if she was truly happy with me, she wouldn't have done it. She wouldn't have put herself in the situation to do it. Don't put yourself in situations to do things that are going to hurt somebody else. You are responsible for your own actions. I'm worried this might not be the first time or the last time if I ever found out. I'm so thankful my sister was there and told me because I found out before the wedding and before we had kids. My dad and I already moved my stuff out of the house. I'm just so upset and confused. I thought she was the one, but now I've seen her true colors. I scummy cheat. Honestly, I'm done with dating. This is the second time I've been cheating on. Oh, only second? I just don't trust women in that way anymore. I don't need a woman in my life. I'm thinking about focusing on myself, maybe traveling. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm bored and just feel lost and confused. Any advice on how to move forward? First of all, counseling. Second of all, what was the real situation with the cheating? I think in a normal situation, no other factors. A one night stand is something that you can recover from if it happens one time. If it happens more than one time, then they're a cheater. Absolutely not. Um, Everyone's allowed a lapse of what consciousness, brain, once in a while, but only one time for this type of situation. Nobody's perfect. Did you discuss it beforehand? I mean, what was the situation? He doesn't tell us, gives enough information. But also, if it's a deal breaker for you, then it's a deal breaker for you. And your spouse should know that. If you do this, we will break up. And you should have these discussions beforehand. You should have had this discussion. How long were they dating? For 4 years? You should have had this discussion 3.5 years ago. You should talk about stuff, potential stuff, all the time. Things change. You should revisit it several times, unless you know you're on the same page. Hot Gap says, bro, it's like you hit the lottery. You found out before marriage and children. Good luck on your future endeavors. The trash took itself out. OP says that's a positive. Pills Rup says, when I got cheated on by my girlfriend, I just booked a ticket to the other side of the world and took me time for 3 months, visited 3 continents, traveled with locals, backpackers alone, and did whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Jumped out of a plane, went scuba diving, bungee jumping, and did wine tastings, and everything else I've always wanted to do. Also, back into dating organically by meeting so many new people. Honestly, it's pretty much living the life until the money ran out. 1010 would recommend to take a break from life and start living living if the opportunity is there for you. And that's not the worst thing. Still say counseling. Aromic educator says, how the wing she thought to get away with that with your sister there. And OP says, because she thought they were best friends. Well, even if they were best friends, you wouldn't be my best friend anymore once you cheat on my brother. Aromic educator answers, she's your sister. How could she be that stupid? Like when you start dating again, you got to find someone smarter because that's on you. I don't mean education smart. I mean common sense smart. And he says he's never dating again, which is a lie. It's a lie he's telling himself because he will. Almost everyone does. Almost everyone does. Star Prince says, wow, you did everything right. Yes, take some time for yourself and travel. Only one piece of advice. There are wonderful women out there who will not cheat. Do not put all women in the same dirty underwear. Thank you. Yes, exactly. OP says, I don't know all women. I know all women are the same. I know not all women are the same 100%. I know there's amazing women out there. I just can't be single. Life is stressful. CBA, I don't know what CBA means. Yeah, I mean, yeah, right now it feels like you're never gonna date again, and that's fine. You should take a year, 2 years, couple years to get over it. But my dad said he would not get married again, and he's married again. Has been for twice as long as he was married the first time times. So it can happen. It can happen to you. It's fine. And there's not only one fish in the sea. I don't say what they say. Next, we have malicious compliance, and it's entitled Manager said document everything, so I did. Good. You should document everything, especially if you think there's trouble afloat. If you get the hint that there's trouble afloat, start documenting everything. Um, this happened in a call center I had a few years ago. We had a manager, I call him Derek. Okay, I'll call him Dirk. There's a story to that. Who was fond of saying, document everything whenever there was any kind of dispute or miscommunication. Yes, exactly. That's how you do it. Paper trail, he'd say. Always have a paper trail. Dirk also had a habit of giving verbal instructions that contradicted what was in the written procedures. Small things mostly, like telling us to skip certain steps to handle calls faster or to process refunds in a way that wasn't quite by the book. When you asked him to put it in writing, he'd wave it off and say, "I just do it. I'll be back. I'll back you up." After the third time, I got flagged in a quality review for following Derek's verbal instructions. I started documenting everything. Every time he told me something verbally, I would send him an email immediately after saying, "Just to confirm, you're asking me to do X in situation Y. Let me know if I got that wrong." He always ignored these emails, never confirmed, never corrected. After about 2 months of this, there was a bigger issue where a process I followed, again based on his verbal instruction, caused a problem that got escalated. Dirk said in the meeting that he never told me to do it that way. I forwarded the email, 14 emails, all sent within minutes of our conversations, all ignored by him, time stamped with no correction ever sent. The meeting got very quiet. Derek said the emails didn't reflect the full context. His manager, who was also in the room, asked him to walk through what the full context was, and he really couldn't do that. I kept my job. Dirk was moved to a different role about 6 weeks later. I still send him follow-up emails for everything. Good. This is how you do it. Like if you get, like I said, had already said to do that, which is fine. But when an inkling of a problem came up, OP started documenting, and OP won because that's what happens. Laughable, I know, right? Says, um, pay attention, y'all. Every good MC story ends with documentation. Malicious compliance story always ends up with documentation. Always carry the receipts, so to speak. Yep. Go Gators Forever said OP did it correctly. To take one step further, I would used to include a final sentence that said I would consider no reply to be a concurrence with the contents. Yeah, exactly. They don't get back to you. That's a yes. That's a yes. Go do what you're going to do. Second top rated comment, yeah, is from Have Those Panties. And she says, documentation went to save the team I was working with. We ran a welding robot together. It's an intricate machine doing very specific things and sometimes would break down. However, it became clear that the machine was really struggling and our downtime kept creeping up. We had struggled to finish quotas because the robot kept breaking and forcing downtime. There was only 2 to 3 robot techs for the whole factory. Um, that's not unusual because they spend most of their time doing nothing, right? One of my sons does that job. He's a robot tech. Um, I started keeping track of every single minute of downtime after 2-ish weeks of being given band-aid fixes for a struggling robot setup and management getting fussy about us not making our quotas. I wrote start and end times to the minute, attached old broken wristwatch to my tool bag as no watch is allowed on the shop floor. What caused it and what the tech came to fix. Why could you not have a timepiece? A month or so later, with no real change, my team was dragged into a meeting to address why our team shift wasn't able to meet quotas and to tell us we were being written up. I had my little notebook ready to go. Management was apparently completely unaware as to how much actual downtime was happening. They asked for my notebook. I walked to the nearest photocopier and made them copies. Hard no to giving them my actual notebook. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. One of the robot techs was submitting wrong paperwork, if submitting anything at all, for majority of the repairs he did. Repairs meaning band-aids. Within a week we were told that we would be getting a new welding robot set up and it should be starting installation in the coming weeks. The aforementioned robot tech was seen by me again, and all repairs requests with the old setup were to be handled by the tech supervisor until the new setup was in place and functional. None of us ever saw a write up regarding this. Even if it seems harmless at first, actual data showing patterns is a lot less easy to ignore than just saying something happens. Always document. Yeah, that's exactly how you do it. She did everything right. This James says, yep, I was going to say also add voice recordings when he's giving directions. Paper trails work. Yeah, except for when management says you can't record other employees. 'Cause I've had that happen. Well, this is the exact message he sent me. And it was nasty and mean and yelly. And after that, we couldn't record other employees. Just silly and dumb. Next, we have evil buildings. Hold on a second. I got to check something real quick. Didn't go on there. That's interesting. Guess I got to use my phone. I had a thing come up. Come on, phone. Wake up. I got to get a new phone. That was not the right one. Hold on a second. I gotta send oh no, I don't. I have it on here. I gotta send somebody a link to the show. Because I forgot to do that. I didn't want to do that, but okay. Whatever. I didn't want to do that, but okay. Whatever. I didn't want to do that. Okay. Never find what I like, what I want on Tuba View. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll get somebody to chat with. That would be fun. There's one person watching. Say hi. Um. Okay. Evil buildings. This is the premier tower in Melbourne, Australia. Especially with the sky like that, it does kind of look evil. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Um. Oh, OP says they met one of the architects for this building once as a courier delivering to their office. He told me the building's design was inspired by Beyonce's curvy figure. This was his thirsty tribute to her. That's awesome. Love that. Is a building is a building truly evil when it's basically horny posting? Oh my goodness, that's funny. So it's the Beyonce building. Is what he should have called it. It's the Beyonce building. Next, we have AITAH, and it is entitled AITAH for attending a birthday party thrown by my former in laws after my ex husband's wife suffered her third miscarriage. Okay. I don't know. Probably not. Like, you can't live your life according to other people's miscarriages. My marriage ended because of my ex husband's cheating with his current wife. We had 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-month old together at the time. Yikes. He did not want to work on things anymore than I did, by the way. Our divorce was not amicable, but I have worked on being civil for my child's sake, which you should. Green flags. Green flags for OP. My ex husband's family and I have remained on good terms, and I'm actually godmother to three of his nieces and nephews, and I'm still auntie to the family, as you should be. They're cousins. Your kids are still their cousins and their nebblings. His father's his wife, and has since been the very beginning of his family has said, I'm the mother of his children, and I was around for a long time, and I have an established family relationship with each of them. Exactly. Exactly. My ex-husband suggested his new wife could take over being godmother, and then the relationship could end between me and them, but that didn't happen. Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense at all. My children enjoy seeing me getting along with their father's side of the family. They don't really have any family on my side, and it doesn't feel like that as much because I'm considered part of the family by my former in-laws. I love it too because I had such a good relationship with them all. Yeah, they know who the jerk was in the if she had cheated, it probably wouldn't be like this, but because he was the one that cheated and they all know it, it's on him and not on her. For a year now, my ex and his wife have been actively trying to have children together, and she has three back-to-back miscarriages. Oh, that's really sad. Latest miscarriage happened days before the birthday of one of my godchildren. I was at the party, as was my ex and his wife. She became inconsolable for about an hour because of my presence and the fact that she had not fully been accepted into the family. Because you're the side piece, lady. What do you expect to happen? Apparently, it was already hard to see me getting along so well with my ex's family and my godchild, the birthday child. But then she claimed seeing my kids happy to see me and talking and cuddling with me sent her over the edge because it was like she wasn't my ex's wife. I was still married to him, and nothing had changed. Oh, this lady needs to get over herself. She's like, dude, you're the one who cheated with him. What did you expect to happen? My children don't have a close relationship with her, nor should they. She doesn't get the cuddles or the excitement I get or my ex gets. Of course not, because she's not their parent. Although he gets less because he hasn't been as present for our kids the last couple of years. This enraged my ex-husband because he insisted that I need to be left out of in the future, and his family said no. Good green flags for this family. I love them. They said he could choose not to come if his wife doesn't like it, but I will be invited every time, and they will hope I accept every time. He raged at me for going when I knew she had the third miscarriage as well. I'm sorry, sir. The miscarriage of your side piece is not my problem. I am the mother of your children, and they are part of your family. Therefore, I am a part of your family. Either grow up and get over it, or don't. Don't really care. This wasn't in front of the children, for those wondering. We exchanged some harsh words because I asked him why I would give that much consideration to his wife's feelings when we know she has never given consideration to mine when she agreed to become the other woman. AITAH. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, you're not the a hole in this situation. But your ex husband, why'd you marry him? Well, first family. His family's very nice, obviously. One more cookie says NTA. Your ex effed Well, now I learned how to turn the mic back on. Refresh, 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 refresh. Refresh your screen, and it'll take you back to the screen where you can turn the mic back on. Okay, let's continue. Um, it's Ash answered that she was the affair partner and he betrayed OP. Her children and they think the family will welcome her with open arms. I'm not fake. My cousin's ex knew I didn't like him and didn't want to be around him ever. If my brother did this, his AP would know my feelings. Yes, exactly. Beth says he even thought she could replace OP as godmother. He has zero concept of what care or affection is. This wife will be an ex soon enough too, and then he'll find some new woman he can con into marrying him. That's probably true too, because this guy does not seem like he's all there at all. Individual use is the second top rated comment, and they say NTA. This is your ex-husband being an idiot. He expects everyone to fall in love with a person just because he did. That's not how human relationships work. But many men seem to think this. Their wives aren't seen as real people, it seems. Just a number of functions that can be switched over to somebody else performing those functions. Yes, this is an issue. Even some women don't see themselves as being fully um, realized human beings, especially if they have certain upbringings, fundamentalist. They don't see themselves as full people because they've been told that they're lesser all of the time. Try it a little bit. Um, when he suggested his new wife could take over being godmother, how he is one of those men. Next, he is going to suggest she takes over being mom. I see it a lot on Reddit. Divorced guys thinking they can just plug in any warm body where mom used to be, and everything will work perfectly, as if you just replaced a faulty faucet or a doorknob. You're not in the wrong here, and your ex's family have taken their pick, and then they got 17 rewards. Feisty Television or the OP says, first realized that about him when he asked his family why they keep me around. He said they were done, we were done, so that meant they should be done with me too, because I was only there because of him. It was his sister, the in-law I'm closest to, who told me that I wasn't her children's godmother because of him. She was chosen because of herself. And good for that. Green flags for sister-in-law, ex-sister-in-law. Chaos Rules answers, my aunt and uncle divorced and he remarried. His first wife was and is and always will be my aunt. She gets involved in family functions because she's family and she's my cousin's mother. You have a good relationship with the in-laws, and that's what's most beneficial to your children. His family chose you as godmother not because of your marriage, but because of who you are as a person and their love and appreciation for you. They continue to invite you and have a good relationship for the same reason. You are in no way obligated to change anything. You owe the homewrecker and the selfish, cheating piece of crap nothing, including sympathy or consideration. How delusional is it that she thinks she can step into your role in your kid's life or with the in laws? People are not interchangeable, and that you need to cut off friends and family because she's uncomfortable. She sure as heck wasn't thinking about you or your comfort while she was wanging a married man and joining him and blowing up his life. You are doing what you should as a mother, maintaining a cordial relationship with their father in front of them and fostering good, healthy relationships with extended family. Bluntly, the cheater and the homewrecker can go weighing themselves with their self-centered attitude. And this is an update, and I believe, yes. Oops. Okay. I have a feeling I'm not going to like this one. Let me double check. It's being goofy. Why is it being goofy? Okay, I guess we're back again. Ugh. All right. So this is from annoying neighbors. um, is entitled "Neighbors with a Newborn." Me and my partner moved into our first home last August. We have no children and one well-behaved dog. We are end of a terrace, and our attached neighbor moved out as we were moving in. 4 months in, we have new neighbors, and they are a nightmare. They have two young kids, a newborn, and three Frenchies. They are messy, leave rubbish around, and it comes into our garden. They don't pick up the dog mess, and their garden smells, and I'm dreading it in the heat of summer. They are loud, the dogs are always barking, and the kids are always screaming, and we can often hear the parents arguing. I work nights, so sleeping is very important as they are so loud. But I have not once complained as I am trying to be thoughtful and imagine having kids is hard enough. Last Saturday night, our dog was playing in the house around 8 o'clock with a toy that squeaks, and she'll get excited and bark at it. We soon had a knock on the door from both of them asking us to stop our dog barking as she is disturbing the baby. My partner apologized and they left. I was a bit annoyed as we've done nothing but issues and noise since they started, and my dog barks once and they knock on our door. Around 10 minutes later, my dog was playing again. I kept her calmer and quieter, but lo and behold, they knocked on the dog again. This time there was another lady with them who I think was her mother. They called me selfish and started swearing and shouting at me. It was quite intimidating and embarrassing to have them shrieking at my doorstep. I spoke to them alone this time and said it was 8ish on a Saturday and we have accepted their noise and due to them have a young family. But my dog was allowed a few minutes of zoomies and play in our own home that we paid for. They got really angry. The mother threatened to call the police and then the council. Okay, so go for it. Which which I said they'd be worse off because they're usually much louder. They said we should respect their boundaries as it takes a village to raise a child. I said if they chose to have children, that's on them and not something everyone should bend over for. And they all left in a right huff. Was I wrong to stand my ground? My partner says I should apologize to stop any bad blood feelings. But I don't think I was wrong at all. I was calm and polite and didn't raise my voice and didn't swear. No, you were completely fine, OP. Completely fine. Um, but I'd stop worrying about how they felt. Um, so that's how I feel about that. Uh, must have failed. Okay, whatever. Um, so this is an update. Oh no, it isn't. Huh, that's weird. Hold on. That's not it. Okay, update on annoying neighbors. A few months ago, there was drama where my dog was playing and being vocal, and my neighbors complained and brought their kids into it. Everyone on Reddit was incredibly supportive and gave me the boost I needed to tell them to shut the F up. Well, there has been more drama. Last week, my partner and I went shopping after work. We were out for maybe 2 hours and arrived home at 7:30. We're not home 2 minutes before we had the neighbors banging on our door. They had a video of their living room and the sound of our dog going absolutely ballistic barking for 10 minutes. We were absolutely horrified and apologized immediately. We explained she's never done that before, that we know of, and promised to do our best to make sure she doesn't get that mad again. 2 days later, the same thing happened whilst they were out. They came to our door after we got home and presented us with another video and told us they're reporting us to the council. They also said we were cruel for leaving our dog home alone. Oh, please. People have to leave their dogs home alone. What, you take your three dogs everywhere? Doubtful. Bet you they bark more. Oh, we once have been apologized and racked our brains as to why this was happening. Probably from them. Probably because they're causing it. That's my guess. Fast forward to last night, and we jump in the car to go pick up my partner's friend. We get down the road, and I realize we can't risk the dog barking again. He stops. I get out and walk back to the house because he has my key. I jump over the garden wall and go through the back door. Around 10 minutes later, my dog is barking like mad. She's in a frenzy, and as I try to grab her, I scream because my neighbor stood outside my dining room window making noises and waving his arms around. Told ya. Uh, I run through the back door and around to their door, and I can hear them arguing, and there's something about deleting the video, and they refuse to open the door. We have a Ring doorbell, but the window is just out of shot for the camera, which they somehow knew, and they had obviously seen us leave together, but had not seen me go back into the house. They're obviously not reporting us because they've been caught red handed, but I'm too scared to move or do anything now. I feel like my privacy has been invaded. I'm constantly anxious that my dog is going to kick off every time someone walks past the house now. Don't worry about it. It's not your issue. You didn't start this. My partner has tried to confront them, but they won't speak to us. Best thing about it is about it all is they left their baby screaming alone in the garden last week around an hour because it's controlled crying. But I can't leave my dog for a minimum of 2 hours without them winding her up to bark. No advice needed, just thought I'd share the demon neighbor update. They left their kid alone outside crying for an hour? These people are not acceptable. Just not acceptable people. I saw in their flexes, I think. Says, literally, this happened to me yesterday. Been in this neighborhood for 9 years. Never even met this neighbor once. Yesterday, she comes over to complain about her dog barking all night and disrupting her sleep. She says she has a video, and if it happens again, she'll file a complaint. Wife apologizes as we were out of town for the weekend and her son was home with the dogs. Turns out one of our dogs got scared, barked at something that set her dog off, and it started barking. And then they fed off of each other, but it's not our fault. The cameras went up last night. Good. OP says it's awful. Sorry you had that drama, neighbors. Am I right? um, Graper says, tell them your security cameras have caught everything each time they've harassed their dog, and if it doesn't stop, the police will get all the footage of them on your property and also get them trespassed. Party Custard answers, yes, do this. Tell them after catching them the other night, you went back and looked at your camera from the other nights, and they said your dog was barking, and you saw them outside your window harassing your dog. Who cares about a little lie? They lied big to you. It's time to scare them. I agree with this. Scare them. You don't have the evidence. It doesn't matter. Go for it. Um, I'm assuming this is outside in a yard, crying with no one around. This is one to let your baby cry out inside the house, but quite another to leave them outside alone for all to hear, where anything can happen. Yes, exactly. 100%. Next is from Benign Existence, and it is entitled Overheard at a Bookstore. Red Pants Mom. What do you want to be when you grow up? Awesome sauce. Teenage toddler. Awesome sauce t-shirt toddler. Okay, I gotta start over. This is from Benign Existence, entitled Overheard at a Bookstore. Red Pants Mom. What do you want to be when you grow up? Awesome sauce t-shirt toddler. A farmer. Red Pants Mom. What do you want to grow? Awesome sauce t-shirt toddler. Puppies. Red Pants Mom. Well, puppies don't grow, they're born. Awesome sauce t-shirt toddler. Then I'll grow dog food and puppies will just come over to the farm anyways. Mm. Largo says, clever child, that's awesome. Second top rated comment is Adept Reserve, and it says, this is so sweet. When my son was 3, I asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he said a farmer. When I asked him why, he lists because cows need farmers. Aw. Brilliant Height said, perfectly sound logic to me. I'd certainly visit the dog food farm with the puppies. Oh, and if you haven't watched Hoof GP yet, you should check it out. Not if you get grossed out by gross, like semi-gross surgical type stuff. That would not be for you. But for the rest of us, it's very entertaining. Next, we have Found Satan entitled Surprise. Oh, this is evil. This is so evil. I wrote, "Will you marry me in the sand? I hope it wings a couple's holiday." That's mean. Why are you doing that? That's just evil. Uh, Kangix Demolek says it could lead to a happy ending though. Use welcome says you pay extra for that. Fatigue shrimp, we don't have time for a latte. Small palpitation is the second top rated comment. They say, why would it do that? Uh, Mingle Lake says, couple walks on the beach and one of them sees it and thinks the other one planned to propose to them. Exactly. How would you not figure that out? uh, Verena says, I feel like that's easy to talk yourself out of. Oh my God, are you proposing? No, that's someone else. My sign would be way bigger. uh, Cat Goose Shook says, and now I want to write, I want a divorce and saying, don't worry, don't actually do it. It does seem like it would be taking it a bit too far. I might try that sometime. It sounds fun. It sounds fun, especially if it's a busy, like weekend beach day, and you get out there early enough. Be so funny. Next, we have Just No Mill, and it is entitled "You're Ruining My Experience as a Grandmother." Where to begin in this 18-month-long saga? In 2024, I was pregnant with our first child, which sadly had to end in TFMR. Oh, um, an abortion, third trimester abortion. It sounds like second trimester. Sorry. Just before discovering significant issues during the second trimester, he had a great chasm in his heart and no kidneys. Both significant other and I were deeply affected by this, and we were just so excited to become parents. I am so sorry. That is heartbreaking. I can't even. Oh, that's awful. I am so sorry that happened. And that's the beginning of Just No Mill. We sent our baby boy for autopsy to discover one, A, the depths of his issues, and B, what caused these lack of developments. She wanted to see him when he returned from the autopsy in the morgue. We said no because he wouldn't look like a baby, and it was something we both strongly felt strongly against. And that's fair. You're the parent, you get to decide. Um, and yeah, little tiny ones like that just don't look right, even when they're even normally. They don't look super developed. But I mean, the no kidneys thing, there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, some people with forced pregnancy, no, nobody needs to go through that. Nobody needs to go through that because the fetus would continue to develop just with no heart and no kidneys. Why would you want to put through somebody that would do that torture? It's terrible. This is something that has been weaponized in arguments against my significant other when she feels she's being deprived of her grandma experience. I quickly got pregnant with our daughter, and we were keen to establish expectations early when we got to 5 months pregnant. None of the grandparents were going to be regular childcare, as not one of them is reliably healthy. That's fair. That's fair. I have no problem with that at all. If you can't afford a baby, maybe don't have one. Just saying. She has also weaponized her high blood pressure and refused to see us post argument, usually around her expectations, desires, disappointment, which has given us even more reason to stand firm on this. We wanted our parents to be able to back up if needed and enjoy their role as grandparents. Three-fourths are still working. However, unbeknownst to us, she decided that she was going to have her for 2 days without having a conversation with us. What? How? How? Our daughter has an unusual name, very uncommon where we live, and that is thanks to her father, not sarcasm. Her middle name is my sister's name, who passed as a baby. My mother-in-law believed and ensured everyone heard about it that the name is horrible and that she'll be bullied, and my parents had it picked. Oh, well, I mean, as someone in that situation, yeah, you get picked on when you're a kid for having an unusual name. Most people love it though. So that's on the other kids, not on yours. This started 4 months of regular arguing where she would frequently suggest names because my parents got to choose, and that's not fair. Uh, Wife called her out on this regularly, whereby I got to the point where I'm sick of you trying to change her name. Yeah, I I know my mother-in-law didn't like my youngest names. She said, when I told her, she said, "Oh, I'll get used to it," which is the proper answer. You don't particularly care for the name. I'll get used to it. Expectations about around the birth had to be clearly laid out. I was having a C-section after complications. Oh, it's his family. Okay, husband called her out and on this regularly. Okay, I got my people wrong for there for a minute. Expectations about the birth had to be clearly laid out. I was having a C-section after complications, and I didn't want visitors straight away just in case. That sounds horrible. Like, not only did you lose a baby like later in your pregnancy, um, you also now have to have a C-section. That's that's just sad. I'm so sorry. And I didn't want visitors straight away just in case. That's perfectly acceptable also. I mean, I did my granddaughter, or my granddaughter, my daughter-in-law was perfectly fine with us coming, as far as I know. She did not raise any objections anyway. And we don't overstay. We were there for half an hour and we left her alone. And if she needed help, we were there to help, although she hates asking for help, which is silly. She needs to get over that. Her foot's broken right now. She won't ask for help. Um, Turns out that this was the best choice as I was very unwell and our baby was in NICU. Oh, geez. This girl just can't win. In her mind, we were ruining her first opportunity to meet her. No, your first opportunity to meet her is your first opportunity to meet her. If she was 6 months old, that would have been her first opportunity to meet her. Jeez, oh pizzas. Some people are just so selfish. Um, hey, everybody say hi to Kim. Kim's the only one here. It's fine. Hi, Kim. Welcome. Jump in anytime and say stuff. Too bad the kids aren't here. It's usually just my kids. I've been trying to get her on here forever, especially since last September. Okay, where are we at? Turns out that this was the best choice as I was very unwell and our baby was in NICU. In her mind, we were ruining their first opportunity to meet her and we're pushing them away as other friends got to see their grandchildren the day of. She's very big on there being fairness between the grandparents. There should be equal times spent between. Well, that's not always possible. Um, Kim visits with her neighbor too much on every report card. I don't even know what that means, girl. Oh, I hope Kim is okay. She's fun though. She's fun. She'll liven stuff up around here for sure. Um, okay, we're back to grandparents. Yeah, there's never going to be fairness between grandparents, especially when you're acting entitled to the grandchild. Since daughter being born this year, she has kissed the baby twice, despite clear reminders of we don't kiss her. Cue not speaking to us aside from two-word answers. Yeah, Kim says that when her kids were babies, the grandparents were jealous of who saw each other more. and it was ugly. I know now that right now, the situation where we're at, I see them way more than their other grandparents do. But that's their own doing because they don't act right. Um, she expected us. She expected to just be able to turn up at our house and see the baby, despite explanations from both her sons about why this isn't a deal. After a bumpy recovery, I've been sick of seeing our four walls and quite enjoy having something to do and a routine. Basically, I'm not guaranteed to be in as I do something almost every day with the baby. For example, go swimming, library sessions, baby sign, etc. Regardless of classes, when she comes over, it feels like hosting, and there have been many days where I am often just in the house with my boobs out to deal with the cluster feeding babe. Oh, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Husband suggested we organize days in the calendar if she wants to be almost spontaneous to send me a message the night before within a few hours' notice to give the opportunity to decide or offer an alternative if it's not a good day. So she just pops in. I have never. Kim says it's awful. They want to kiss your baby. Go get your own slumber all over it. No, I never pop in on my daughter-in-law. She claims she'd be fine with it. I'm not fine with it. Yeah, plus there's the whole, herpes thing to deal with, which is gross. I mean, when they're older, maybe a little bit. Everybody gets that eventually, so not by everybody, I mean 80% of the population. Oh, you poor thing. I would never. I mean, it's just an invasion of privacy. She says her in-laws always came in all the time. No, maybe once in a while. But we always tell them first, like even when we went Saturday to the campground to visit for a few minutes, we told them we were coming. We don't just pop in. Plus, how do we know what campsite to go to? I'm surprised they even got a campsite because they were in a state park on the weekend. I was shocked they got a campsite, but they did last minute. Um, this caused great friction whereby I've been effectively demonized for changing husband, and all the rules must come from me. When actually they've been decisions by us parents. Yes, in a two yes situation. My son got a camper this bought a camper last week. So they had to go camping this weekend because the 4-year-old insisted on it because he's Mr. Camper Boy. And they have not the kids have not slept in the house all week. They're One of them has to sleep in the camper. They're so cute. They're so cute. Our current dilemma is daughter's baptism. We had to let Mill know in advance that we plan to have her baptized in the summer. I booked it while husband was at work and let both families know via text. It was more an FYI where it was, please keep this date free as we have booked her baptism. We will let you know the details when they are firmed up and closer to the time. That makes perfect sense to me. Q period of silent treatment. Apparently, husband should have called her especially about this special moment. She's known our intent since the daughter was 8 weeks old. Oh, do we have red flags? Red flag. I think red flags. I think the H, which is supposed to be happy birthday, on this flag, or the T or the H in birthday. I think this is gonna stand for hell. H is for hell. 'Cause these people are horrific. I have a green one too. Um, for a woman who is greatly empathetic that she needed to establish a relationship with our baby with weekly visits, quickly threw that idea out the window, and a desire to be involved grandmother, she's lightning quick at choosing not to speak to her son and will not be able to see her granddaughter. It's bizarre. I genuinely believe mother in law is struggling with the lack of control and has very limited emotional maturity surrounding this. Throughout the last 18 months, these shenanigans have really gotten husband down. He's explicitly not asked me not to get involved. Green flags for this husband because he should be dealing with his family. Um, he's a good guy. Don't worry about this, OP. He's doing the right thing. I'm even at the end of my patience tether. I can't pretend to be happy to see her when she's caused such a stress and distress for the last 18 months. Joke's on her, though. She's ruining her grandmother experience and she can't see it. That's really sad. I'm telling you, the way to get along, the way to see your grandparents is to get along with their parents. That's the best way to do it. Get along with their parents. We have our issues, but it's not stuff like that, thank goodness. Waterflies is a top rated comment, and she says, "First off, I'm so sorry for your loss. What a terrible pain to lose a child. We suffered a stillbirth this year. Oh, I'm sorry, waterflies for you. Sorry, waterfiles for your loss. That's heartbreaking. We've also had a not a stillbirth, but a later on miscarriage in my family this year too, and it's been heartbreaking. Um, my mill was always difficult, boundary pushing, shifting blame, silent treatment after we called her out. But after our baby died, she has been incredibly understanding. She's like a whole new person. I have become grateful to have her at this terrible time. She has helped us a lot. I'm glad to see her finally realize that the show of our lives isn't about her. Though that's good. I mean, at least something good came out of that. If, if a heartbreaking thing has to happen, at least some good came out of it. I'm sorry that such a loss hasn't helped your mother-in-law see that you have needs that are different from hers. She should be much more supportive of your choices with your second born. And congratulations on the birth and life of your second. What a joy. Heart emoji. God bless her and keep her safe. The second top rated comment is encyclopedia. Some of these Reddit names, I'm telling you. My God, I usually don't throw no contact lightly and often think that people in this sub are somewhat part of the problem, having little communication skills and expecting parents and in laws to follow their exact same views or be out. Well, I mean, they are the parents of the child. But I gotta say, this one who takes the cake is maybe the worst mother in law. Wang her. No, go no contact and have that ghoul out of your life. With everything you went through, you absolutely deserve peace and happiness. Certainly not to have to suffer through a woman who made the worst moment of your life about her when anybody with a heart would have been known to be nothing but supportive to you and your spouse. Yes. If she had been supportive the first time around, she might be in a better place today. By the way, if you're not familiar, Wang is our word for the F word because we want people that have little kids around to be able to at least listen and not have to turn it off all the time. Um, Next, we have Petty Revenge and is entitled Controlling Housemate Told Me Not to Sleep with Him, So I Did. Kim's dead. Kim, you have like an hour and a half more of this. Just saying, at least. We're not even halfway done yet. Um, where does a housemate, I mean, your parents and siblings and other family shouldn't even be telling you who not to sleep with, much less a housemate. A few years ago, in the second year of uni, I lived with a girl who slowly became weirdly controlling. We were 21 and 22 at the time. At first, it was constant check ins. Where are you? Who are you with? When are you back? Then it turned into arguments if I didn't follow plans exactly. If I changed plans while I was out, I'd get paragraphs calling me inconsiderate or a bad friend with all the names under the sun. See you next Tuesday was her favorite. Uh, red flags for this roommate because I think this roommate might have the hots for OP. Kim has her dog. Her dog's really cute. She calls him Bub. I don't think that's his name, but she calls him Bub. But the double standards were insane. It's Finn. I knew it wasn't Bub. She calls him Bubby and Bub all the time. She's her kid, right? He's her kid right now. Well, we're not going to say that, Kim. Uh, the double standards were insane. She could bring people back whenever she wanted. Once a group stayed up doing coke until 6 a.m. before my 9 a.m. start. That sounds fun. I wasn't even allowed to have friends in my own room because it made her anxious. I literally had to sneak people in and out of my own house. That's crazy. She also she'd also create emergencies anytime I went out with her, so I'd have to come and get her. If I didn't, it would turn into a massive argument. She's like I said, she's a roommate, not not a family member that you have to look after unless you want to. Like I did have roommates that I looked after a lot. All my blind roommates in college. Um, but that was a choice I made. If I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't have done it. We probably wouldn't have been friends. We'd have just been roommates. But we became very close friends. um, at one point, she spammed me with calls while I was at a pub quiz because the fire alarm battery was beeping, and she was too anxious to leave her room. Oh my goodness, this girl! How is she even in college? She even got someone from the bar to come find me. So I left my friends and went home. I couldn't fix it. It needed new batteries. Well, I could have told you that, but you can take the batteries out and it'll stop doing that. I said there was no point in me coming back, and she just goes, I know. That's when I mentally checked out. What made it even weirder was that when she first met the guy I was seeing, my now boyfriend, she actually liked him, met him at a club queue, and he seemed like a great guy. Second, she realized I was sleeping with him, though, she suddenly hated him because she's jealous because she has a crush on you. The final straw was when she told me that if I slept with him again, she would stop speaking to me. So I did. I made sure it was the loudest, most obnoxious, absolutely unmistakable, orgasmic night possible with her in the next. She stopped speaking to me after that. We communicated through notes until I moved out about 4 weeks later. Best part, this was the best house I ever been in. Oh, P.S. So sorry. Jewelophiles says, I don't understand people who cater to their roommates like they're anything other than a person paying half the rent. Great if you can get along, but I'm absolutely not allowing this kind of enmeshment. Yes, no kidding. Kim says she's difficult to live with. Except, so she's never had a housemate except occasional man. I don't want to live with anybody because I just don't want them in my face. The one I have now and have had for going on 41 years, married for almost 36, is enough. And I can send him to the basement to play with his Lego if I want to. Like, you need to get out of my face. Sapphire Juice says, alternative side of this, I lived with a roommate for 10 years and we were super enmeshed after the first year or so. We bought groceries together. I cooked, he cleaned. We had a family plan for our phones. We even bought furniture together. We both learned a ton about what it's like to be in a partnership, and we both carried that into our marriages now. My relationship with this changed uh, how I approach relationships as a whole. We moved into cities together and built our careers together. I took many chances throughout my 20s, and I would not have taken without knowing that there was someone in my corner to help and support me if things didn't work out. And because of that, I was able to make it to places in my career and personal life that I probably wouldn't have made without him. Oh, that's nice. See, we have flip sides of the coin. We have how to behave and how not to behave. Yes, I was very fortunate, Kim. Very fortunate. And I realize that. I love good friendships. Good friendships are good. Chief Mischief is the second top rated comment, and they say reading the body text versus the title gave two different, completely different meanings. From the title, it sounded like you were sleeping with your male housemate, also weighing her figuratively. I hope she steps in a puddle with her socks. I hope she finds a girl that she likes. uh, Angela Banana says, and they were roommates with the eye emoji. OP says, best believe we are only roommates. Well, maybe you were only roommates, OP, but your roommate was definitely not just a roommate. Oh, next we have Am I the Jerk? And it is entitled AITA for telling my friend he can't use my address anymore and returning his mail to sender. No, no, you are not the jerk for that. People that do that drive me insane. I still get mail for my kid. I still get mail for my kids. Somehow my daughter has an Architectural Digest subscription that gets sent to my house. I tried to give pawn it on off on her yesterday. Not yesterday. Sunday when she was over, and it's still here. I put it in recycling today. I don't need it. I do like looking through it a little bit, but there is nothing in there that is relevant to my life. If they have a good bathroom or a good sink, a kitchen once in a while, I'll look at that. But there were no kitchens in the last one. I'm not that fancy. I am getting a hub for in here though, because I'm that fancy. I am not else fancy. Part of it's the aphantasia. I just can't. Now I'm drinking iced tea. I always drink iced tea. I'm a bad person. I never drink water. I don't like it. I've drank iced tea since I was a baby. If I drink water, it has to be flavored somehow because I can't. But I can drink this iced tea. It's diet sweet tea, but it's doesn't have aspartame. Um, which I can't have. Yeah, I drink coffee in the morning, but I try to limit my coffee because otherwise I can't sleep later. The tea doesn't bother me, the coffee would. Um, this is made with sucralose though, because if I drink too much aspartame, my fingertips got going numb, and I figure that's probably not a good thing. Sometimes on vacation I drink. I also drink it till my fingertips go numb, but yeah, aspartame not good for you. They're finally finding this out in tests and stuff too. So I think that's going to go the way of the dodo too. So yeah, it's not. If I drink enough of it, my lips will start going numb. So it's saved for. I drink one diet or Coke Zero at home a week. Otherwise, I only drink pop when I'm out, like out to eat or on vacations. So yeah, my husband drinks it all the time, constantly. He drinks is diet pop. That was funny. Yesterday, I have the kids on Mondays, and yesterday, the 4-year-old BW, uh, we sat down to eat dinner because they're here at dinner time, and my husband put his glass of pop down. The 4-year-old picked it up and started drinking. Good thing it was caffeine free because he can't have caffeine late either. That was funny. He's like, "Well, it was in front of me, so I drank it." But he's a good kid. He usually asks for lots of times he'll ask for milk. The other one's apple juice. Apple juice, apple juice, apple juice. Oh, I don't have a problem with them drinking pop. I just thought it was funny that he stole it. And their parents will let them drink pop when, for parties and stuff. But usually they'll have water or juice. And the juice is usually cut or milk. WB likes milk and BW likes um apple juice. Apple juice. And that one, I'm telling you, I think he's smarter than the first one. Okay. So, get back to the read. Am I the Jerk is entitled AITA for letting my friend say he can't use my address anymore and returning his mail to sender. My buddy, 26 male, asked if he could use my address while he was in between places last year, and I said, yeah, fine. Figured it'd be like a few letters for a couple of weeks. It's now been almost 7 months, and I'm getting mail for him constantly, not like just regular mail. I'm getting debt letter, his car insurance renewal, multiple packages, even a gym membership thing. My building has a small shared mailbox, and half the time his stuff is clogging it up, and I miss my own stuff. I mentioned it twice, and both times he said he'd sort it out soon. um, I wasn't really trying to make a big deal about it, but I was just sitting on my couch playing Stake on my phone when I got a notification from him for a package too big to fit in the mailbox sitting by my door. And it was just a bunch of random clothes he ordered. Why is he ordering clothes to your house? I kind of snapped a bit at that point. I told him he has 2 weeks to update his address everywhere, or I'm writing return to sender on everything going forward, which you should have been doing like you said it's been 7 months, like 5 months ago. You should have been doing that. He called me unsupportive and says he's going through a lot. Now, two of his other friends are messaging me saying I was too harsh about it. Like, I get that he's struggling, but it's been 7 months and he's ordering stuff to my address. So, how bad can it really be? AITA. Yeah. So, the terrible fundamentalist camp people that used to camp in the campground I worked at um, would come every year, and for months afterwards, we would get stuff from the state because they would use the campground address as their permanent address. It was not. I don't even know where their permanent address is. I don't even know if they have one, but they just travel around and use people. So can't stand those people. And I can't think of his name right now. Warnowski. Warnowski. Yeah. Um, Look up Andrea Yates. That's who that guy is. Warnowski. Yeah. Not fun. Not a fun guy. Um Top comment is from Outside Signature, and they say, "Let him transfer his mail to one of those friends' homes. Problem solved." Exactly. Tiny Blossoms says 7 months isn't in between places. That's using you as a free PO box. If he has money for clothing hauls, he has money to update. He has time to update his address, and he can get a mailbox at the post office or at the UPS store or something. Clogging your mailbox and ignoring your warnings makes him the unsupportive friend, not you. Returning the sender is the only way to force him to actually fix it. Yes, exactly. And that's what I had to do with Warnowski's mail. Return to sender. This is not a residential address because it was a business. We didn't even let our regular campers do that, much less the ones that got to stay once a year. Tree Frog Ninja says, quotes, been supportive when the straws have broken the camel's back and it's time for someone else to be supportive. How about your address for a while? Yes, exactly. I've had friends who have actually my friend that did live there. She actually lived at the campground because she was one of the workers. She had a box at the UPS store, not at. She didn't get mail at the campground. She got it at the UPS store like a normal person. Hi, Marianne and Jeff. I know they watch once in a while. They can't watch from their house yet. I'm hoping that changes in the next year and a half or so. Dealer Alarm says now two of his other friends are messaging me saying it was too harsh. And it says, looks like two people just volunteered to take over. NTA. Exactly. Like a normal person. If you knew Marianne, you would know what an exaggeration that is. She makes you look normal, Kim. Why do I have such wacky friends? I love them though. So this is Signs of the Story and is entitled Let Him In. This has got to have a good story to it. I don't know. Here you go. It says, "Do not let the duck in," and then it has a duck waiting at the door. Oh, like that duck. No, Bub knows you're crazy. Oh. Big Rig Butters says, "If you're cold, it's cold. Let him in." King Corso says, "You can warm him up at 750 for 2 hours in the oven." Oh my, that's mean. Funny, but mean. There was a comment that was deleted by the user. It was the second top rated comment, so I don't know why they deleted it. SA Such answered that with, "It's probably why they don't want the duck inside. You probably crapped on the floor once." Oh. Dizzy Introduction says, "Get the duck out of there." Hardboard says, "Just don't grouse about it." Playfully Syllabub says, "Watch that foul language." Ice Weld says, "Why you gonna find him over? What you gonna find him over it? Put it on my bill." This is why I like Reddit. That's why I go to Reddit. Okay, and now it's time for expectation versus reality. It says, "Bestie got me this for my birthday." Uh, that's really cute. That's super cute. I love it. What did they actually get? I mean, it could be worse. Yeah, well, I figured that. I figured it would be two-dimensional. But honestly, it could be worse. We've seen worse. We have seen worse. So the OP says it was fairly expensive. It took a while to ship. We opened it together. She was mortified. She said she would return it and get me something else. And I said, "No way. It literally fills my heart with laughter every time I look at it. Best gift I've ever gotten." Edited to add, "Apparently my picture did the product some justice. For clarification, it was supposed to be 3D painted glass, but it's a piece of plastic with a sticker on it," which is what I expected it to be. um, by random chance says, "I mean, it's better than I was expecting when I see these AI stained glass items. At least there's that." I love watching the YouTube opening videos where they order stuff like that and then it comes. There was one the other day. It was a color changing cloud that you could put like over your bed on the wall over your bed. And actually, it wasn't too bad except it started falling apart immediately. Immediately started falling apart. But it was a cool concept and it did work. It did flash the different colors and everything. It just was not well made. It's a good concept. Don't buy things off of Temu, Kim. OP says, "Seriously, I love it. I have small children that break everything nice I have. And if they don't, the cats finish the job." Well, that's perfect for somebody in that situation, then. That's absolutely perfect. Plus, my bestie, literally my soulmate, anything she buys me is automatically perfect just because she got it. Aw. Needless to say, I'm very happy with it. Her exact words were, "Just a dumb slut doing dumb slut things." She's the best. Oh, I love it. All right, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I try to go live at least 4 times a week, usually about noon Eastern time. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell the people at Temu that you have to talk to when you send stuff back. If you have a story of your own or come across a good one in the wild, please send us an email titled submission. If you would like an email link to the day's current live, send an email entitled subscribe. The email is biddybrunchbunch, all one word, at gmail.com. And the email is also in the description, along with now all of the socials. So go to the socials and sign, add those if you have any. No pressure. You'll just get the same repeated stuff. I am going to start cutting things up and putting them on there, because those can be shorter. And I'll, post shorts and stuff, try to get more people than we have currently, because most people haven't been watching. I should like spank them or something because they are all family, except for Adam. All right, next we have Zillow Gone Wild, and it is entitled Lovely Whimsical Century Home in Northwest Oregon. And this is in Astoria, Oregon. It's only $500,000, which is better than some of the ones we've seen, right? Where's my share button? Oh, there we go. Okay. So it was very cute. I like that it has a deer in the yard. I'm hoping that's not a real deer. It would be real in my yard. Oh, yeah, bridge right there. Reminds me of the place I stay at in Port Huron to watch the boats every so often. Oh, it's a national registered. Okay, so you can't mess it up. You have to keep it like it is. It does look like a dollhouse. It's very cute. Oh, it's bright and colorful inside too. I don't know about those stairs. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could live with that. I mean, I'm gonna paint my walls roller coaster gray. Although the yellow's not that bad. You got a cuckoo clock. I haven't seen a cuckoo clock in forever. Does anybody even really have those anymore? Oh, what did they do to that poor fireplace other than the AI fire? Oh, that's terrible. Why did you mess that fireplace up like that? I don't like it. Okay, I don't like it. I thought I would like a cuckoo clock once, but I decided no because it would probably keep me asleep. The room is very small. White cabinets. Everybody knows how I feel about the white cabinets. That's a big fat no. I don't like white cabinets. If you like white cabinets, that's fine. I don't. It's apparently Grand Central Station, either in the bathroom or in the kitchen. It's a good sized kitchen. I don't have any problems with it. Where's the fridge? Still don't see the fridge. That's a nice stove, though. I'm jelly of the stove. There's the fridge. Okay, that is not a good triangle. It's big, yeah, but they don't have it. Oh, they're good, decent people. They have a Biden Harris thing up. So that's nice to know. Yeah, that fridge is way out of the way. I'd have to move that. Went to the bathroom with oh, I don't like the walls. I moved into a house with, I mean, it wasn't this nice, but it was the 3D walls. Oh, it's awful. They spent so much time to sand those walls down to get wallpaper to get paint on them. It's a good thing we were young and dumb when we moved to the house. Is this whole place going to be yellow with burgundy trim? You have a little music room. I wonder what you could use this for, 'cause it would not be a music room in my house. Yeah, I'm confused. Oh, that's stairwell. Okay. Basement. That's not too bad. I don't mind it at all. Even though things are looking, that's fine. It's a basement. Who cares? What in the what is that? Why is there, why is it all tinfoil? And why do you have plants in the basement? Shouldn't those be upstairs somewhere? I'm so confused. It's not even weed. Kim says the basement's dreary, except for this part. I would not put plants in the basement. Those are to be enjoyed upstairs, and I can't even keep a plant alive. My daughter thought about giving me a plant for Mother's Day, and then my, my husband goes, "Are you sure you want to give her another plant to just kill?" So now I know how they feel about me. Mm, I'm not big on the pink, but that could be changed. It's nice to have a window in your bathroom that you can open. I mean, it's just a typical bathroom. This is a reasonable house, not like some of the ones we see on here. It's just a reasonable, normal house. It's fine. And it's not too far from the water, which is nice. Yeah, but there's only one of you and Bob, so you're fine. If something happened in an old full house, Kim, you're old. I hate to break it to you. That's cute. I do like that they made an effort to put clouds on the ceiling. I would use that as a reading nook up there. Hidden what? Weird brick thing. It is a very cute little house. I have no problems with this little house. There's no backyard. There's like no backyard. It reminds me of my niece's house. If you were retired and it was just the two of you or the one of you and you had a boat, this would be the perfect house to have. So you can just go boating whenever you wanted. Aw, that's nice. Kim says she knows she's getting old, but her mom told her how hard it is to be 80. But her mom still does everything, it just takes longer. And that's it. Now we get our deets. It's 2 bedroom, 2 bath. It's over 100 square feet, so it's not super small. $500,000 or $450,000. It's a beautifully preserved Victorian. Um, Located in a lively community once filled with Finnish immigrants. involved in the booming salmon industry. So you probably get some pretty decent sized boats coming in there. Um, includes the range, the refrigerator, microwave, dishwasher, gas water heater, and tank water heater. Tank water heaters are nice to have under your sink. Yeah, but it's in Oregon and things are expensive there. Things are expensive where I live. Um, you should see my niece's house. It's ridiculously expensive to live in Seattle or near Seattle. Uh, annual taxes are $1,840. So not terrible, but not great. So Chica Masgrande says, I'm pretty sure I saw this house tied to a bunch of balloons and headed in the direction of Paradise Falls. Um, Shawnee Ron says, you got to admit, Paradise Falls sounds like a desirable option at this point. For sure. Somebody says, amazing, delete this please so I can buy it. Go buy it, girl. Hold Your Pony says this house gets posted every 3 months. I've seen it for sale for the last 2 years. No idea why though. There's something wrong with it. That's why. Somebody says it's massively overpriced. It might be. It may be. Pretty sure you have these photos. Why do they not have the prices on this map? You look at Michigan, you can see all the prices. Or the oh, here we go. Nah, I don't see it as massively overpriced. It looks about in line. I mean, there's one for almost $1 million nearby. The others are 3, 4, 5. I don't think it's massively overpriced, but they might not be willing to compromise either. They might need the money. Who knows? Next, we have Server Life and entitled 83 Degrees and I Have to Wear Black Jeans. Oh, wow. It's Happy Easter. I can wear shorts below the knee, right? Not today. Over 90 degrees and you can. It's not over 90. That's ridiculous. I don't know where they are. They don't say where they live. I mean, maybe in Texas. I don't know. If it's 80 here, it's like 80 to 90% humidity. It's hot. It is hot at 80 degrees. Such Boss says get some black golf pants. They breathe really well. Yeah, get some light fabric, not light colored, but light pants. Illustrious Joke says I wear the Under Armour golf pants. They are pricey but worth it. I have a pair of them that is kind of like paramedic pant material and they are comfortable. I mean, all those people in the desert seem to do fine, I guess. Next we have confession. It is entitled My father will never know he taught me an amazing thing and it breaks my heart. My father passed away last year in his 80s. He was a good father, never beat us or said any things that hurt. Not a good dad. He was probably too kind. He always worked hard, took care of us and our mother. We weren't rich, but we were always safe and got what we needed. When I grew up and moved up, he got time for his own projects. When I called or dropped by, I was met with this very special hi in a happy, incredibly positive tone. That made me understand how happy he got from my visitor call. After meeting my now wife more than 20 years ago, things were often hard between me and her. Work, kids with lots of issues, money, feelings, etc. We figured things out and things got better still. Every time I met or contacted my father, the happy, friendly tone was there. He made me feel loved and appreciated. Things kept improving in my marriage, and now it is ridiculously good. Every day we get up from bed, we greet each other with the same happy, loving tone, setting the mood for the day. My life is insanely good now because he unintentionally taught me what the difference of tone makes. Imagine waking up or meeting your partner every time you get to hear the voice of someone who are really happy to see you. Thank you, Dad. Love you forever. Oh, that is so sweet. Not Kim. If it's hot, I'm wearing my shorts that nobody else needs to see me in. Otherwise, yes, I'm always in sweats. And I can't wear capris. They're just normal length. Matter of fact, well, not capris, but I got like the short, just a little bit longer than capris. I bought a bunch of pants. They fit me perfectly. It's regular pants. Short people problem. Princess Nikki said, the lesson here is so simple, and yet most people go their entire lives never figuring it out. The tone you greet someone with tells them everything about how much they matter to you. I need to change my tone. Kim's cracking me up right now. And her and her legs. Oh, so funny. LP says, imagine hearing that someone is really glad to see you makes a world of difference. Yeah, I like that. I might try something. I might try an experiment. This is interesting as Wang. It's entitled VLC Always Works Unlike Outlook. Oh, this is a video thing. It's just the one. I'm not sure what here. It says VLC is on board the NASA Artemis mission. I mean, remember, these are from last month, so um, so at least they're not using Outlook. Outlook sucks. DeBland says, I absolutely love VLC, but for some reason I got kicked out of the little Santa hat they add to the logo in December. Neoliberal Nightmare says, I just like it no matter what file. It's like crap. Yeah, I'll give it a go. I'm assuming this is something like VLC is amazing. So get VLC, I guess, if you have a company. I don't do that anymore, so I don't need to know. Next is Am I the A-hole? Entitled AITA for telling my sister that she got what she deserved. Everybody always says that these are, yes, you're the a-hole, but you know what? I don't think so most of the time. So my sister, 30 female, my 30 female sister, 31 female, has been with her husband, 30 male, for 8 years and married for 3. My sister and I don't really get along. She has cheated on every single person she has ever been in a relationship with and is very selfish and self-centered. So why is she married? If something doesn't revolve around her, she throws a tantrum, and if something she does isn't solely for her benefit, she doesn't do it. She is my sister and I love her, but I try and avoid being around her as much as possible. Understandably so. However, her husband and I have been friends for years as we were in the same year together at school. He's very different to my sister and would give the shirt off his back if it would help someone. This is Kim's sister, apparently. She and her husband separated recently as my sister had an affair with her husband's best friend of 25 years. Your sister has no morals. Oh my goodness. Understandably, this crushed her husband, and he put on a brave face for the sake of their son and hopefully to co-parent civilly. Oh my gosh. You have a third sister? Someone's talking about mine. Oh, I can't. This poor guy. He met his wife and his best friend. Lost his wife and his best friend because they have no morals. I stayed out of it. Good for you. Red flags for the sister. Or green flags, sorry. Green flags for the sister for staying out of the drama. I didn't want to get sucked into the drama. I told both my sister and her husband that I hope they're okay and that was that. Recently, my sister came to visit me. I lived 200 miles away for 7 years and she's never once visited me before, even though she's been invited numerous times. Kim, same. um, Proceeded to rant about how the guy she is with now, the affair partner, has changed since they got together and he doesn't do anything around the house, won't find a job, etc., etc. She was already unemployed when they started their affair, and how she's wished she just stayed with her husband, and now how when she told him that, he laughed at her and said he didn't want her back. Good for him. Yeah, I know, me too. I didn't want to hear it, and I told her as much, but she kept going. After an hour, I eventually just said, "Well, you should have thought of that before you start shagging someone else. You brought this on yourself." Definitely NTA. No, NTA. My sister ended up leaving. My husband thinks that what I said was fair enough, but my mom, who also had an affair on my father 20 years ago, so we see where sister gets it from, thinks I was too harsh, and it's clear she regrets her behavior. So now I'm wondering, was what I had said too harsh? No, no, I think it's perfect. People like this need to be called out once in a while. For Pete's sake, they need to learn how to behave. Like, what did you want? What did you think would happen? Like, this happens every time. Like, read some Reddit. Read some Reddit, and you'll know that it happens every time. Yeah, and that's the other thing. The parents always enable the one that's not behaving. Always. Like, people need to grow up, I swear. I swear people need to grow up. Impressive Plate says NTA. She doesn't regret her behavior. She doesn't like the consequences. That's a good point. She doesn't even seem to miss her ex-husband just the way he just the things he used to do for her. She probably took him for granted too. Um, exactly. She only misses Ice Seekers answered exactly. She only misses the convenience of having him beside her. It was pure selfishness. Also, what did your sister expect? Such a joke that she wanted your sympathy after destroying your marriage? You only told her the truth and that others won't say it to her face, so NTA. Yeah. Sometimes things just pop out too. I'll take them back. I've had that happen to me. It gets people real mad at you. But like it's your situation, not mine, dude. Um Second top rated comment is from Needs It Rough. Says she doesn't regret her behavior. She's just mad he won't take her back. NTA. Jenna Rook says, yep, she regrets the outcome not working in her favor. I mean, it's every time though. Oh, no. Girl, I would be so mad at you. I would be so mad at you if you let him back. You only get so many chances with me. But you can prove yourself too. So that's a thing. Maple Leon says, NTA, it looks like your mom is validating her own actions through your sister. She did bring this upon herself. She made her bed and now she has to sleep in it. Exactly. Cheater, pumpkin eater. Cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater. Don't come around here. We don't need you. Next is from Overheard and is entitled Two Straight Guys Talking About Gay Stuff. Straight guys should talk more about gay stuff, honestly. I walked past I walked past two guys carrying boxes into their apartment, and this is what I heard them say to each other. See you later. Your room has the best view of the apartment across the street. It's literally only models staying there. I'm good, bro. I'm not gonna spy on girls through my window. What a good guy. Green flags for this guy. Green flags. Who said anything about girls? If the models are male, I'm definitely not spying. I'm not gay or bi. Who said you were gay or bi? I'm just saying. You don't have to be gay or bi to appreciate an attractive person of the same sex. I think if you're appreciating an attractive person of the same sex, you're probably a little gay. You can go watch Cafe Latte if you need more of an explanation on that. I'm straight, but if my friends eventually ask me if my new roommate is hot or not, I'll provide an answer without questioning my own sexuality. Aw. Out of interest, how would you respond to that question? I tell them I'm not gay or bi, and both of them bust out laughing. These are good friends. These are good guys. Oh. Cafe Latte has all the scoop on everything. She's a great author. Chris is a great author. It's okay. The firefighter and the angel like each other, and his wife is and the firefighter's wife is okay with it. It's all good. Emotional fail says, I, straight male, was told by my daughter that her older gay male friend thought I was hot. I was genuinely flattered. No, I wasn't interested, but to find out that another person thinks you're hot regardless of the gender is flattering. Yes, that's true. That's true. Um, Mr. Avader says, even if you aren't going to go to the party, it's always nice to get an invitation. True. True. The second top rated comment is from Bad Breath Unlimited. Oh, it must be my husband. Gotta appreciate them for discussing this with respect and clarity. Yes. Background menu says faith in world now slightly better. Oh, the next one is not safe for work. So if you're around little ones or at work or someplace where inappropriate content might be inappropriate for, might want to skip this one. Kim says one of her kids had a girlfriend in high school that was gay and always said, "What are you wearing?" when she answered the phone. Oh, that's awesome. Love that. Okay. It's true off my chest, and it's entitled "My First Threesome Was Terrible." I mean, I think that's normal for any sexual relationship that it would be terrible the first time. Mine was not, thankfully. So I, 18 male, got offered to have a threesome with a friend from university who I'll call Mark, 19 male, and his girlfriend Victoria. Oh, so the angel and his friend, the firefighter, and the firefighter's wife. um, just about a week ago, all was fine. I'm very open-minded on these sorts of things. We all agree and met at my place. I had a little chat, fooled around a bit, and uh, then came time to actually, well, do it. It started with spinning roulette with our names. Whoever landed on had to take off a piece of clothing, and that was okay. A bit awkward, but overall fine. So instead of playing poker, they're playing roulette. That's fine. Then we started doing it, and I couldn't get it up. I tried. I couldn't get myself to have an erection. The other guy was fine though. After a while, Victoria trying and failing to get me up, she asked, "Are you okay?" To which I said, "Yes, sure." I got up to change the music, and as I did, I also used a fake call scheduler app on my phone to pretend I got a very important call from work and answer. After pretending to speak to my boss about some critical problem that needed all workers on site, I hung up and pretended I had to go. I nervously told them to finish up if they want it and went out. I'm now waiting at public library for Mark to tell me they're home safe and to say I'm never trying this again. Update, they left now. I'm alone and my room smells weird. Dude, if you're gonna have a threesome for the first time, don't do it at your house. Gosh. You do that crap in a hotel room, okay? Not at home. That way when it goes sideways, you're not at home. You can you don't have to leave people in your house alone. God. Oh. Nick Reclum says leaving a three-way at your house is kind of funny. It's very funny. OP says looking back at it, yeah, what WTF was I thinking? Excuse me. Mixed Trail Mix says you were in survival mode, which meant fleeing. At least he didn't fawn. Oh, that's so funny. Reddit Stripe is the second top rated comment, and they say, I can only assume you were nervous, under pressure to perform on the spot, and maybe ultimately didn't like the idea, etc. It doesn't mean that because it happened once, it'll happen again. It's just life goes that way sometimes. Don't stress about it. If you talk to your friend about it, just be frank and honest rather than making something up. Yes, for sure. Be honest. Your friend would understand, I think. If they're a good friend, they would understand. OP says, I was rather nervous, and and I don't think I disliked the idea. I mean, I wasn't super excited by it, but I never felt like it was a bad plan either. Maybe you watch some similarly situated porn. I don't know. You're just so used to the idea. Oh. Mountain says, update. They left now. I'm alone in my room. Smells weird. It's the best line. They say it's the best line of the post. Sure, for sure. Oh, I gotta get over that one. That was funny. These are funny. What is with this month? What went on last month that these are so funny? Kim says if she was doing it, wouldn't be such good with such good friends. I just wouldn't do it. I don't think. I don't see it, being invited to do such a thing at this point in my life. I'd be mad at the smell too. That'd be so gross. Like I said, hotel room, not at home. This is hotel room activity for all three of you. Next is what do I do? It is entitled Outstanding Bill. This is the bill they received. The Mountain Dew, what is it for? It doesn't say what it's for. $1,300. Cutoff date is, oh, what's the date today? Tomorrow. Their cutoff date is tomorrow. Your account must be paid by noon tomorrow. Now tomorrow. This was last month. Or your water, oh, it's water service will be terminated. $50 cutoff fee and a $25 reconnect fee will be charged. So $75 plus the 1300 plus dollars. Yeah, pay your bill. I don't know. Why is it so high? My sister that we lived with was in charge of paying all the bills. We would send her the money and then she asked she'd pay them. We went through a lot of family drama recently and she moved out, leaving all kinds of debt on these bills for us to handle, and she's refusing to help us or do anything about it. I don't have $1,300. I try calling them and they won't work with me because I'm not the account holder. I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do and I can't just keep crying over it. Does anyone have any helpful advice? That's a lot. I know. I would faint too. Thankfully, I'm on a well. I don't have water bills anymore. Did they have a pool? I mean, for sake, what are you doing in that house? Check for leaks already. I'm a renter. My sister's on the lease as well, and I'm working with the landlord to get her off of it. Yes, the notice is real. They even added $20 door hanger fee to the account to rub salt in the wound. Why didn't they just send you a bill? Are you not getting the bills? The water company won't give us a payment plan because they told me they already offered my sister one and she didn't follow through with it. So we're left with no choice. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do. Move. You're renting, you can move. They've given us to the 17th to pay in full. I'm calling community services tomorrow and appreciate any helpful advice. This was not her not paying the bill for a long, long time. How is it not her not paying the bill for are you sure? I know. I can't believe they have a door hanger fee. That's crazy. Are you sure she wasn't paying them? Because can't possibly be for a month or 3. I know ours was like every 3 months when we lived in town. Um, even though this was the case for some of the other bills, and those companies are working with us to pay them off. We already had our electricity cut off in February that we were able to work out. This is from a leak that happened in October through November from her bathroom, I guess. She knew about it and told us when we asked why we were paying like $50 plus more bills each, but she didn't tell us it was over $1,000. Sorry, I'm trying not to smile when they smack this on our door. I just need a little guidance and advice and kindness. Thank you. So I told you to check for leaks, didn't I? I swear I'm clairvoyant. Chaotic Thoughtful says, will they disconnect and let you open an account in your name? I'm not sure the reality of that since it's the same house. And Clown answers, this would be the first step. Telling the account holder no longer lives there, they would have to put that bill into collections in their name, and you should be able to open an account in your name. I hope so. Funeral Bot says, call and get the service turned on in your name for your address and let them know you just moved in there. Yeah, that. Master Shake says, I was going to say something similar, only his OP sister's on the account. Then open a new account at that address. The debt will hopefully just say in the sister's name. And how is there that big of a leak inside the house and have you not got it fixed? Like this is a landlord issue, not a tenant issue. Uh GS Pointer Dad says if it's not shut off yet, there's an advocacy you can reach out to that might be able to effect a stay. If not, maybe another branch of government like village council or housing. Yeah, I don't know. I have no no advice. I have no advice. I don't know. I was never in that situation as a renter. That's crazy. That's why you don't live with family. They'll screw you over. All right. Next one is from Oh No Consequences. Oh no, I can't talk today. Oh No Consequences, and it is entitled Person Shocked to be Snubbed After Staying Silent About Their Kids Breaking Their Neighbor's Swing Set. Um, it was originally in AITAH. So there's a possibility that we've already read it, but uh content pasted in case it gets deleted. Thank the gods OP put in paragraphs. No kidding. So who was this by? Oh, it was deleted. That's okay. We got the copy and paste. They did not put all the information that they would put in Bowrube, though. I forgot about the situation that happened a couple of months ago. All of a sudden, I remembered it, and it has me wondering if my neighbors and I are in the wrong. Perhaps we're both in the wrong. We used to live in a duplex. My neighbors had their side of the yard, and vice versa. We had our kids' toys on our side and their kids' toys on their side. They all played together with each other's toys, and we always had our kids put everything back to where they got it from. Sounds reasonable. Kids had a swing set that looked like it was for smaller kids, but all of our kids played on it because it never looked like it could handle their weight. Okay, that sentence made no sense at all. Going on, I read it the way they wrote it. One day their kids and our kids were playing on the swings, and I think with how hard they were swinging, made the part that was holding the swings up fall down. When I found out I felt really bad, and I was going to talk. I was going to talk to the mom about it. I wanted to help out with payment on getting another swing set. I just wanted to message her and tell her, but my partner said to see if they say something, and they never did, and I still feel bad. No, you should have said something. Do the right thing. Probably 2 or 3 days later, I was walking outside, and the neighbors were outside as well. I was nervous about the situation, but I still wanted to help pay for the damage. I said, hey, to start the conversation, but she ignored me and just walked off toward the back of the house. See, now she's mad. That's what happens when you don't own up to stuff. I know she heard me because her husband was sitting down outside and he was just smirking at what he just saw. I felt bad because I just reached out just to get ignored. I thought we were friends because we talked whenever we could see each other or when our kids were playing outside. I also felt like we bonded a little at a little New Year's hangout they had last year. Afterwards, I just stopped reaching out, and plus, we never really ran into each other. That's really sad. It's really sad that your husband's a jerk. I'd often see her husband, and we used to greet each other, but now I saw that he would avoid me slash not talk to me as well. What bothered me is that they would greet and talk to my partner, but not me. Well, that's weird. One day coming home from gym night, I kept running into this concrete parking block on my side of the parking area. Eventually, it got really annoying, and I just moved it to the side where it was in the first place when we first moved in. The next morning, the neighbor messaged me saying that he saw the block was removed and if I could put it back. This kind of made me feel mad because I felt the way she was talking to me was a forced fake niceness. Honestly, I was like, wow, now she wants to talk to me after ignoring me. Regardless, I told her I couldn't because it was blocking my car from being safely parked. She stated that since we were sharing a walking entrance that I needed to leave space. I understood her reasoning, but later she stated that she was the one who put the block there in the first place. I always wondered who and why it kept getting pushed farther back towards the middle of my parking spot rather than just the walkway entrance. This made me upset and uncomfortable knowing that she did that. I responded with I will be more mindful of the walkway entrance and blocked her after that. Afterwards, we never spoke. A couple of days later, I went to the store with my kids. I saw them and my kids being friendly, said hi to his friends, but they just ignored him. Honestly, this made me upset because my son was sad that they didn't say anything back. I said out loud, let's just go this way. It's obvious they don't want to talk to us. We arrived home and they arrived home a couple of hours later. Since we live in a duplex, we can hear certain voices if they are obviously yelling or screaming. I heard her being upset, not sure about what, but I heard that she can't stand people like that, not sure what it was about. I just raised the volume on my TV to ignore it. Days passed and I was on the computer and the kids were out with their dad. So it was quiet. I overheard her basically raising her voice that it's not her fault that she was a bad mom. Honestly, like what? Still not knowing what she was referring to. The other time I kept hearing comments that were obviously said out loud on purpose. So I know she was just making comments for me to hear. I kept ignoring it and I eventually ran into her and her husband and I would just ignore them as well. One day, their kids asked me if my kids could play outside, but I was leaving and wasn't going to be able to watch them playing outside. I told the kids next door that they are in the room right now, but maybe tomorrow they could play outside. The next day, you could hear the mom being upset over what she thinks I could have said to them. Honestly, I spoke to my partner about it, and he said, why would she think that? And I responded with, I don't know. I wouldn't be fighting little kids or talking to them in any ugly way. He stated that maybe she was projecting on how she would have acted towards our kids. The next day, our kids played with them, but their kids never came to our side. I just wanted to be cautious and told my kids just to play in the middle. Eventually, the next door kids stopped coming out to play. I didn't worry about it because we were about to move. Definitely just wanting to hear what are your thoughts? Am I the a hole or are we both mutually the a holes? Well, you were the a hole first for breaking their stuff and not offering to repair it or replace it or whatever. A few discussion is a top rated comment, and they say she should have followed her original plan and not listened to her husband. 100%. I think they're both immature. Both of them are immature. How did they have kids? Similar shame says exactly. WTF that advice. I don't offer an apology unless it becomes legal admittance of liability BS. Yeah, I don't understand these people. uh Code Sigma says this person doing everything but putting a check in her neighbor's hand. Why shouldn't she? Her kids broke the swing set. I would be putting a check in my neighbor's hand if my kids broke their swing set. Steroid sandwiches, nobody's willing to talk like an adult except the kids. Exactly. Next, we have mildly infuriating, and it is entitled "Please do not touch or disturb the sand." Uh, I'll show you the sign. Says James Turrell's Blue Pleasure is an artwork created as a place for quiet contemplation. Do not touch or disturb the sand. And there's somebody walking in it. That's what the issue is. There's somebody walking in it. So why are you walking on the sand that they told you to walk on, ma'am? Mostly memes for answers. Next, we have Am I Overreacting? And it is entitled AIO. My mom or my sister told the police I have learning difficulties because I moved out without telling them in advance. Yikes. Hi, yeah, I posted here a couple months ago about quietly moving out while on holiday. Whoever told my that my mom would report my disappearance to the police, you were right on the money, and I'm sorry for not believing you. Anyway, if anyone wants an update here, I'm safe, happy, and Dobby is a free bitch. Just kidding, everything's sorted. Thank you for your advice. I'm a little bit annoyed. My third sister is being nice to my face while telling my second sister that I have learning difficulties. I'm technically a vulnerable adult, but it is why I don't tell her in my new things. Okay, we have the link to the OG post. Am I overreacting if I go on holiday and not come back? I don't really know how to start this because I'm just kind of done. Send it to me. I'll read it. I'll read it, but I won't identify you. The email's in the description. I don't really know how to start this because I'm just kind of done. I'm a closeted gay person currently living with my extremely homophobic Jehovah's Witness mother. Oh my lord, you poor thing. Oh, there's nothing worse. I swear there's nothing worse than being LGBTQ and having a bigot for a parent. That's terrible. I'm so sorry. She's 73, has a stomach ulcer, and while not abusive, she can be just so hard to deal with sometimes. I pay rent, do half the cleaning, washing, organize, and prep all the meals, and just generally look after her. My other siblings are all no or low contact for very good reasons, apparently, with the exception of my sister who lives far away and has kids of her own. I understand respect while my I understand and respect why my siblings have decided to limit her by going no or low contact, but it means that it's just me here left on my own when my mom is screaming about how nobody cares about her and how everyone would be happier if she died. I mean, the truth hurts sometimes, I guess. Or goes on long rants about how worldly people are so disgusting. I'm so glad I'm a Jehovah's is going to cleanse the earth of them soon. These people are so delusional. I love my mom, but I can't keep doing this. My mom is a fairly large woman, and I am not. She's about 5'5" and 90 kilograms, where I am a small, barely 5'1" and 73-kilogram person. I don't know kilograms, sorry. My mom can and has physically dragged me around by my hair as an adult. Yikes. Oh, no, I didn't know he didn't know that when he was younger. Kids, I think, just they look around and they see other people and how they react, and they kind of project that onto their own parents, even though it may or may not be the truth. You'll see a lot of parents will say, "My kid told me he was gay, and I just said okay," like I didn't already know that. Like it happens a lot. It's nothing that you did. It's just society in general, I think. Yeah, they do know. Um, So my kids have never not known a trans person because we met our first trans person when they were babies, and sh he was 3 at the time. Wow. Was he in denial at all? Because that happens too. They try to do everything right. So anyway, we didn't know what was going on with this 3-year-old, but we knew something was up with her when she was because she was a girl when she was little. Um, but my daughter reminds me all the time that she's never not known a trans person because she knows Caden. Um, she says it was weird even when they were kids because um, when my kids would call her a girl, it would feel like they were um, using the wrong pronouns. um, so I don't think it's the things that kids just know about themselves, and sometimes society gets in the way. Society's hard on gay people and trans people and all of that. Um, Caden worked it out eventually. Eventually, pretty early actually, because they were transitioning during their high school years. We aren't weren't friends with them by then. We had moved and stuff. Um, and while his parents were very good about that stuff, they were not good about other stuff. Because holy cow. Aw, poor Corey. I feel bad for him. He's been through a lot. A lot. Not fair stuff. I know that. Okay, so, driving around by his hair. I do understand why she did, but it was incredibly upsetting. I don't understand why she did it. Pulling anybody around by their hair? That's just abusive. A few years ago, we got into an argument. My mom has a habit of physically pushing me out of the way if I try to talk her down and encourage her to sit down and talk things through. This particular time, I admittedly lost my rag. I got so angry, I just grabbed her hands to try and stop her from pushing me past me. I know I should have never put my hands on her, but I desperately needed for her to listen to me for 2 seconds. She got upset, grabbed me by the hair, lightly punched me in the ribs, and maybe a dozen times while dragging me upstairs to the shower to hose me off. Oh, honey. Oh, I didn't even know that, Kim. Oh my goodness. That poor guy has a hard road to hoe. I hope he stays on any meds he's on and that they're working for him. Trust me, my kids have had issues too. I know it was my fault, but it did upset me. It is not your fault. Nothing like that is your fault. I would go into more detail, but I tend to explain wrong, and people start saying things like perpetrator, and I might need to write a report. She's never broken any bones or left physical bruises, so it's not abuse. It is abuse. You don't have physical scars do not mean you haven't been abused. There are lots of ways to abuse people. You can abuse people physically, you can also abuse them mentally, you can abuse them financially, you can abuse them emotionally. She's a deeply traumatized old lady and I triggered her. That's not an excuse or a reason. Part of the reason I want to leave without saying anything is because when my sister got married at 18, mom didn't take it well. Started ranting that she'd abandoned us, though my mom literally walked her down the aisle. Started turning up at their house at night, hammering on the door when they weren't even home. Mom has and will physically block the door with her body, forcibly taking my keys and physically manhandle me if she feels I'm doing something wrong. She's old, and while I might be able to physically overpower her, how? I just don't have that fight in me. Plus, I might hurt her, and I don't know what else to do. No, you're not the a hole for leaving in that situation. Quietly leaving was probably the safest thing you could do. um, So her mom texts her. I'll show the text. Texts her and asks if she's okay or him. I don't mean so. I'm assuming a girl since she's 5'1". I think you're right. I'm not happy. I've decided to take your advice and find somewhere else to live. Love you, mom. Hope you're okay. And then, of course, she's asking, where are your clothes are here? Blah, blah, blah. Um, and then she gets a text from the Yorkshire police. Oh, my goodness. Uh, the council won't accept that you've moved out. They need forwarding address for you. How is it their business? Um, you have to tell the bank Joe's housing benefit. So she's telling him when she has to move all those things. And then, you okay? This must be from the sister or something. I don't know. There's not enough information to tell. I don't know who Claire is. Maybe one of the sisters? Almost panicking that someone stole your phone. They say they've spoken to the police. I don't know. This sounds like a mess. Uh, a couple of months I posted. Hi, I posted here a couple of months ago about quietly moving out while on holiday. Whoever told me my mom would report my disappearance to the police, you were right on the money. I'm sorry for not believing you. Anyway, if anyone wants an update, here it is. I'm safe, happy, and Dobby is a free bitch. Just getting everything sorted. I did already read that. Uh, Lord Memberton says, I'm 28 years old. Conversation should end there. Exactly. Um, Vid Guide said, GFC, I thought this was a 16-year-old until that line. What the hell, yo? Hell, yo. What the hell, yo? Um, Much Queer says, I'm not sure about OP, but growing up as a JW can be extremely emotionally stunting, and it's not unusual for members to have no idea how to live in the real world once they hit adulthood. That's true. Because it's a cult. Verity P says, read your original comment. My therapist told me something that really helped my abusive mother. She told me that abusive people are only abusive some of the times because if they're abusive all of the time, you'd realize they're abusive. That's a good point. So don't worry about having left. What you describe as horrible abuse, and you were right to leave. Exactly. And like I said, abuse isn't just physical. There are all kinds of abuse. Mr. Chuckles the Clown says, proud of you, LP. Whatever you do, don't give any more your address, no matter how much they guilt trip you. I think they meant anyone. The second you give in, your mom or other family members will 100% show up on your doorstep. Yeah, especially if they're JWs. They have a habit of showing up on doorsteps of all kinds. All right, next is Best of Redditor updates. It's entitled, My Husband Wants Me to Make Breakfast for His Coworkers 3 to 4 times a week before they go to work. What's your husband going to do for you, ma'am? Original post is from November 2nd, 2015. Where is it from? They don't say where it's from. Trigger warning. Yeah, the right usual stuff. We have been married almost 4 months, so he's only started um he's only they've only been married 4 months and he's already starting demands. That's not a good sign. We've been married for almost 4 months. My husband works in very lucrative office jobs and is a great help with the finances bills for our house while I tackle a BA in college at the moment. For that, I'm very grateful and I love him very much, and we are generally happy with the marriage. However, however, okay, I will say this. My dad used to work at a place where the owner's wife would make lunch for the guys every day, but she loved cooking and she did it because she wanted to do it, not because her husband was asking her to do it. And she made really good, like, really good elaborate meals for, like, 5 to 8 guys every day, but she loved doing it. Labor of love is different than a labor of demand or being voluntold to do something. However, 2 months ago, he asked if I wouldn't mind preparing breakfast for him and a couple of coworkers a few times a week. Of course, I agreed because I know how rushed things can be in the morning for some people, and I was glad to see my husband fraternizing with his colleagues. Also, we have a beautiful home, and it's always nice to have people over for meals. I would no, not every day. I get along with his coworkers very well for the most part, which is a plus. This has been going on for 2 months, and I didn't used to mind it much at first, but I felt like a couple of mornings a week has turned into nearly the entire weekend is too much for me. Getting up and early and preparing eggs, bacon, multiple pots of coffee, when there are more than just a couple of coworkers over, and occasionally stuff like pancakes and French toast. I attend night classes several nights a week, and I don't get a chance to sleep in as much as I would like to. Okay, that's what naps are for, says the person who can't nap. How do I respectfully tell my husband to tone it down a little with these morning visits without hurting his or his coworkers' feelings? I do not want to jeopardize his relationship with the people I work, and I don't want to push him or visitors away as come too much for me. Yeah, if you enjoy it, it's fine. It sounds like she's kind of burnt out of it already. And that every morning gets old real fast. I would say on the mornings you don't want to cook, hand him a cereal bowl, some cereal and some milk, and tell him to go at it. Here's some French toast I made yesterday. Relevant comments. Lonnie Lee says, "Why can't your husband prepare these breakfasts?" Good question. OLP says, "Admittedly, I'm a better cook than him, and I never mind making both of us meals in the mornings. Honestly, if it was just him and I could do it the rest of my life. But it isn't just him, and I can't do it anymore. And he simply has no time in the morning as he has to get ready and be in the office by 8 a.m. Um, excuse me, but he does have time in the morning. He can get his butt out of bed earlier. Easy fix." Ms. Eliza says, "This makes no sense to me. Does your husband own his office, or is he just being trademark nice guy to his coworkers by making his wife be June Cleaver? Hand him a box of cereal. This is 2015. He can make his own breakfast." Uh. I swear I don't read these ahead of time. I had no idea she was going to be hand him some cereal. OOP, he does not own his own office. They all worked at the same office, essentially have the same job. Our home is close to the office, and he likes to boast about my famous breakfast, which is not a big deal when it's just him or I, or him and a couple of colleagues. Well, once in a while, but 3 to 4 times a week is not sustainable for me anymore. Just tell him that. Be honest and tell him that. Do they compensate for the food? Since my husband pays for 80% of the groceries, it would be unfair to me to charge for food that's essentially not mine. No, that's not what they're saying. They're saying, do they compensate you guys for the food? Do they help clean? Nope, I have to do all the dishes after they leave. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Pots, pans, bowls, dishes, cups, coffee mugs, and clean out the expensive coffee machine we have every morning. Not gonna happen. Also, get a French press. Way better. Way better than they can make their own. All you gotta have is uh, a kettle, an electric kettle, heats up the water real fast. They can make their own dang coffee. Question is, what is this costing? Breakfast runs us anywhere from 280 to 350 a week. You're doing too much, girl. With my husband's salary, we're more than covered on that front. Money is absolutely no object when it comes to the breakfast parties. Update November 6th, 2015, 4 days later. Hello, everybody. I wanted to thank all of you who helped me out and gave me great advice and sympathy in the original thread. I'd mentioned several times I was going to sit down with my husband this Saturday and have a stern talk, but I'm sure a lot of you will be pleased to know it happened much. All right, I'm back. I power went out again. That's the second time. All right, where were we? Annoying. I don't understand. It's not like, first of all, they finally got rid of all the trees that were falling on the wires on the main road. In my neighborhood, it doesn't matter because it's all underground here. And it's not windy or storming or anything right now outside. So I have no idea why the power keeps going off. And it's done it twice in 3 hours. It's making me angry. Last time it started doing this, my ice maker stopped working. Yeah, it's kind of gray and gloomy here too, but so I don't know what the deal is. It's starting to make me mad. All right, where were we? I'll start the main thing. Okay. Update November 6th, 2015, 4 days later. Hello, everyone. I wanted to thank all of you who helped me out and gave me great advice and sympathy in the original thread. I had mentioned several times I was going to sit down with my husband this Saturday and have a stern talk, but I'm sure a lot of you will be pleased to know it happened much sooner. I decided to stay home from night class on Wednesday night so that I could speak to him as soon as he arrived from work. He was very surprised to see me in the house as I have a night class every night of the week. I brought up many good points from the thread and told him how all made me feel. I told him the three or four breakfast parties a week and coworkers' visits throughout the day were keeping me from focusing on my studies, and that thinking of a menu every morning was stressful and gave me anxiety. Also, the tapping on the windows from random visits by his colleagues made me feel unsafe as well. These were all points brought up by Redditors in the thread and a lot of things I never thought about myself. There were tears and some loud moments. The first time this has happened since we've been together, but when I told him I had made a thread on Reddit, he went absolutely ballistic and he did not get to see the thread. At that point, I went to our bedroom and confined myself to the bed. A couple of hours later, he came in, got in bed, and said he was very disappointed in me, and that was that. Oh my. I'm very disappointed that you're burnt out on breakfast, lady. Yesterday morning, Thursday, was the same as usual. He woke up smiling and radiant as always and got ready for work quicker than usual. He came out to the kitchen while I was making breakfast for the day and told me that he was glad everything had been cleared. I gave him spare replies and didn't feel like looking at him. He was so shocked to see that I had not only made basic breakfast for him, he told me other people were on the way, and I told him I had to catch a bus to the library to do research on a paper for class. Another Redditor suggestion. We had a loud argument that stopped when people arrived at our house. I stormed out and went about my business. No words between any of us since then. Today I did the same, except I left the house while he was getting ready. It is sad that all of it has come to this, but I hope things settle down. My plan is to have another talk with him tomorrow morning and tell him that I am willing to cut the breakfast down to Mondays and Wednesdays only, and that sounds reasonable, and that all visits from coworkers ought to end immediately because I do not feel comfortable with them using our home as a rest stop. And you shouldn't have to use your home as a rest stop unless it's your kid, because that's what my kid uses my house for. um, you've all been very helpful. Thank you. There's nowhere to go from here but up. I don't know about that. It could go down. I could see it going down. Relevant compacts from Arc. Yikes, I'm pretty surprised by his reaction to this. Has he always been this controlling? I'm glad you set a boundary and plan on sticking to it. Good luck, and I hope he will come around and see you where you are coming from. Um, OOP says, nope, never. As I said before, everything was pretty much perfect until this moment. I do plan on sticking with it. Another point I brought up was that I might be changing my class schedule in the winter and that he should expect some changes around the house. This too made him angry and is more painful than infuriating, but whatever. I'm just glad I did it. I feel like this people should be divorced. Like, he sounds horrible. First of all, and like, why? I mean, he should be supporting her in her studies. What's going to happen when she has a job? Like a real job, not just classes. college classes. Why tell him about the Reddit post? Well, I just wanted him to know I wasn't being crazy and a lot of people agreed with me. I didn't show him the thread at that point because I knew he was upset. Editor's note: in a deleted comment, it was confirmed that OOP and her husband are of Asian descent. He does sound selfish. Final comments: OOP gave two tiny updates November 9th, 3 days later in the comments. When I asked if anything new, a lot of cold shouldering and silence this weekend with occasional casual talk from him unrelated to the breakfast. I wouldn't know what to update with you today as I'm at the library studying and he had to fend for himself this morning. Bowl, cereal, milk, all you need. Um, Bama Monet said, before you did this, did you know of any other wife that performed the service for the office? And oh, he says, not that I'm aware of, but that doesn't change everything. Everything is over. Um, Hannah Bluestorm also quotes the tapping of the window part. It says, what in the heck? I read the original story twice and didn't see that in there. Yikes. I didn't see it either. It must have been in a comment. Um, why aren't they going to the door like normal people? Like, who taps on a window? These people are weird. uh, Banana pineapple sauce answers, oh, he doesn't mention it, but I'll be willing to bet most or all of its colleagues are male. Well, obviously. Tapping on windows, eating without offering any help, and generally feeling entitled to her attention and labor are so man coded. I don't know a single woman who would act like that. Take, 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 and never reciprocate. I really hope she divorced him. And a lot of this may be cultural too, because they are Asian descent. Um, there's a lot of misogyny, even more than normal in Asia. Yeah, I wouldn't do this. I don't think I would do this. Want my best friend over every day for breakfast, much as I love her. Raven says the husband is trash, but like, what are his coworkers thinking? I would never be comfortable exposing myself so often like that. Right, exactly. I wouldn't either. And I would at least be cleaning up after myself. Their Figers answers, right. If my coworkers invited a bunch of us for breakfast and his wife cooked us a full meal and we all left for work and she cleaned up the mess of 5+ people, my first thought would be, I don't want to do anything with this winged out marriage dynamic. Not that was fun. Let's do it every single weekend morning from now on. Anastasia Lane says, and the nerve to randomly stop by later in the day. I can't get over it. Um, Mistress Malev- Maleventia? I don't know. I'm not that good at pronouncing. I've had my husband coworker stop by randomly twice. Some dude who treated his wife like crap. I wouldn't open the second door for him. You have your actual door and the security door that's metal grating, so you get airflow with no AC in military housing. For some random crap, I told him to wang off. I wouldn't let him in even if there were five of them. Even less likely. Oh, you need a bathroom? You your problem. There's a gas station near, so also your house isn't that far either. Tell, tell Kobe I said to wang off. Kirby, sorry. I was always famous. Some men think they just get priority over ruling your household over you, the wife, because they are men, friends with the man of the house. I've heard he said I could, so open up. Oh, no. Of course, my husband never. I told him I'm here and said no and leave. Husband hears about this and he's livid and he says no such thing and is ready to go full destroy the person at their job, even. So, no permission like that was said. Guy acted fine and polite if my husband was around, but if he went to the bathroom or went to tend the grill, he got nasty dominant at me because he hated I wouldn't fold. But my husband was like, but he's so kind. Maybe he misspoke 2 times before he went scorched earth to ensure he had predatory note added to his name in the official way. He's so nice. Yeah, to you. Not nice to me. What is this? Their top rated comment is from Stop Thinking It's Me. And they say, why would you want breakfast at your coworker's house before work almost every day? Do you not like spending time at your own house with your own family? I would say this may be, are the coworkers also Asian? Are the coworkers also Asian? Because that would make sense to me. Yeah, there's no way most people would do this. Outrageous ad says because it's free and you don't want to have to cook or clean up after. Apparently, husband was enjoying playing the hero off his wife's labor. Yeah, it's Trey says, yeah, this is exactly the vibe I got. He's angry because this was making him look like the cool work coworker and Mr. Popular amongst his colleagues, and he's mad she's taking his toys away. And Leovin answers, I'm convinced there are lots of men out there who don't want a wife because they want a partner, but because as a status symbol to show off. Probably, yeah. He showed his neat, obedient wife who cooks every morning for a bunch of randos. He gets oohed and awed for it. The fact that not one of them offered to help for cleaning just showed me that they do not see that as her work, but his. Adventurous now said, yep, he liked showing off his wife appliance. This is why we need. This is the real reason we need robots, humanoid robots, to do our chores for us. Oh. Yeah, I wonder if there's any updates on this one, wife appliance. Oh, that's the wrong one. Never mind. Um, well, our latest one got removed for some reason. I don't know why. All right, last one. It's from Made Me Smile, of course, because we always end on Made Me Smile because we need smiles after that mess every day. um, so I guess I'm just show it. It doesn't really have a name. It's just an emoji. My son always texts to say he's on his way home, so I open the door, letting his 17-year-old cat and 16-year-old doggo know that he's on his way. This is them waiting for him, which I thought was adorable and wanted to share. They know when she opens the door that their buddy's on the way. That's so sweet. I love it so much. All right, that's all I got for today. I guess I'm gonna go watch well, I already watched Sister Wives. I guess I'm gonna go make the notes on Sister Wives. So I'll have the last Sister Wives. Well, I wish it was the last ever, but apparently they're starting up again in August. Why do I torture myself for you? I torture myself for you. I will be back tomorrow at, well, probably not at noon. I have to go grocery shopping in the morning. Where can you see what? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Kim. um, so I will have that tomorrow. Probably will be later tomorrow. TLC. I watch it off of HBO, but I also give updates for Sister Wives, um, Seven Little Johnstons, Balin Out Loud, uh, Welcome to Plathville. I think that's it for right now. Anything else that I watch, my daughter likes me to do it. So I will have the last Sister Wives episode for last season, which I know like they quit in like no what November, December, January. I don't remember. It's been a long time. Oh, it's such a chore. Those people are so obnoxious. Um, Honestly, a lot didn't go on. So you know how that goes. Um, so I'll have that for you hopefully in the morning. Um, I'm glad you'll be back tomorrow. It probably won't be at noon. It'll probably be afternoon because I'm going to go grocery shopping in the morning, as one does. I'm actually out of food. Yeah, that's what I want, Kim. I want a community here of lots of people. So tell your friends if you know anybody that would like to join in. Um, on Fridays, I get more because the kids will sometimes watch. My daughter tries to watch on Fridays. She's busy getting her PhD, so she's too fancy for us, and most of the time. Um, so I'll put it up at noon for noon, but I'll change the time when I get back from grocery shopping. I'll probably put it up tonight. Okay. So anyway, have a great day. I love all my biddies. Um, be nice to people, except for here. We can be mean to people here. Have a nice day. Love you. Love you all. Ah, I still cannot remember that they'd moved the end drum button. Bye. Love you. Bye bye. Bye.